What the fuck is the music at? Welcome to Teens in Spurs! Everyone, as our players of our game come together, we shall go into adventures in space. I am the gnome. Hello, Cloud. How are you doing today? I am the gnome. I am the game master. and our players here. Let's see if we can get them on board. Turn on camera. As you may know, our first player will be Nye. Will be joining us today on Teens in Space. And
I may not have a camera.
good thing you have a camera. That is.
It may or may not actually work. We're gonna see. Discord doesn't like my camera.
We'll see if it works. Let's see. What's. Okay, hold on.
All these nested videos you have going on.
I know. We were supposed to run a test, but I got home from work super late.
Into infinity.
Oh, why is it doing it on that screen? That's why.
I can't even see your camera coming up. I think Discord doesn't want cameras to work.
Yeah, so let me start Discord over again. But essentially what Teens in Space is Teens in Space is a RPG where we are going to be traveling the cosmos as teenagers. And our lucky people will be able to fly around in space to try to solve the questions of the universe. Or make the universe a worse place. I have not decided yet. Nice sounds a little low. Let me turn it up, everybody. Let's see. Yep. So our first space cadet is Nye. Welcome, Nye.
Sup?
And as you know, Nye is a streamer. You can check him out if you want to put your link in the chat. He is a streamer. How long have you been playing RPG games?
Like tabletops? Only a couple of years actually.
How long have you been pretending to be a person?
Oh, just forever. I've never been a person.
Yes, perfect. And then our second guest is Rusty Laser himself. I met him. We play an RPG game together. Give it up for Mr. Rusty Laser. How long have you been playing RPG games, good sir?
Hey guys, yeah, I feel like I may be a bit of a newbie at this. I think I started around 2014 or so like maybe 6-7 years. But I know a lot of people have like 20 years under their belt, but I feel like I'm sort of fresh in that regard.
No longer than me.
Yeah, I think you're longer than me also.
Yeah, okay. I feel like I had a late start, but I've really been enjoying it. Yeah, I've played Pathfinder, Deadlands, Dungeons and Dragons, and now this, so I'm really excited.
Perfect, perfect. And then our last guest is, you know him, the great one, For the Wolves.
Oh god, hello.
Are you okay, For the Wolves?
Yeah, good. Yeah, hello.
I think I have him muted because he's usually really loud.
Wow.
this,
That's fucked up.
this bum here hopes that all of your oxygen tanks explode all at once. Which might happen.
It's okay. I can put it out. I got the skills. I just hug it.
I don't, and we're about to jump into each other's characters, but I don't think your character cares, Nye, about oxygen.
I actually don't know. I have to go look at the book. I don't think it says it one way or the other, actually.
So this again is what we are going to be doing. It is Teens in Space. It is brought to you by I think Rogue Games. Yes, Renegade Games Studio, and this is one of my this system I've grown to really love because a lot of the world building does not fall on my shoulders because I like to blame others, and it actually falls onto our characters in this game. So they will answer questions which will help build the world around them, which also makes it very difficult when we have a guest every week. I have to figure out what they're doing. So how the universe is built right now, essentially, a bunch of billionaires went into space. Jeff Bezos, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Send someone the tavern.
So a bunch of billionaires went into space, led by Jeff Bezos, to colonize the universe. And congrats, they did! They colonized the universe, and Captain Curted their way around making alien babies. That's the part I didn't tell you guys about. And so when they went and captured the universe, they eventually, there's been said to believe that Jeff Bezos and his billionaire friends found the key to eternal life, and they have been living for over 100 years. Then they established the Empire of Bezos, where they took the outer layers of the universe and fought with the United Planetary Sanctuary in a massive war that lasted for 10 years called the Great War. After that, the war ended in a ceasefire because both sides were exhausted. In fact, a little tidbit that our guests don't know, that there was a huge draft on both sides, so ships are actually kind of rare, which is kind of weird how you guys have a ship.
What happened was.
Look, if we go with my plan, it makes perfect sense how we act.
And our heroes are now in the time where there's a rumor that Jeff Bezos is dead, thus splitting the Bezos empire in two. And that's where we will begin. So how are you guys doing today?
Look, RNG hates me, and we're about to go into a dice game. I don't know what you want from me.
Hey, you know what you should do, Gnomes?
Yeah.
You should move your screen on stream to over your Discord box.
Oh, like just put this up? Well, like my Discord didn't want to.
No, I'm saying, like, if you move your camera that's on your stream, like your face cam, over your box.
Oh yeah, that works out a lot better.
That way it doesn't screw up your thing, but then that way you can see everything. You know what I mean?
Yes, perfect. And now let's start getting into the game.
Yeah.
So you guys have already kind of established your characters. Do you guys want to show off your character? Let me see if I can pull up the Roll20s. And I'll pull.
I still haven't found a face clam. I gotta figure that one out. Hold on.
Who would like to go first?
I'll let one of you guys go first because I'm not sure what's going on.
I can, I'll start things off.
All right, and you are. Okay, so we're gonna show Rusty Laser's character sheet. So if you guys can see on screen that these are his traits. So whenever he does an ability, he essentially will roll that die. So D10 is his flight. He will roll a D10. I will say the target number. And basically when he gets that target number right, that is that was what will happen. But let's say I tell him...
Real quick. Can you share your screen on Discord so there's not a delay?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, that's a lot better if I just share Gnomes in Space.
That works.
That works a lot better. So now everyone can see.
Alright, cool.
So essentially... So what if I say, Laser, give me a D12 for flight. Well, he only has a D10, so theoretically he can only get to a 10. But in Teens in Space, that 10 actually explodes, and he gets to roll the die again, adding the two numbers. Now, based on how successful he is, we'll judge what will happen in the world around him. Let's say he gets a 15 with the two numbers, he might find the best, he might do a barrel roll, and the shots may hit another enemy ship. Now, what if he gets a 5 on this roll? Well, he might get shot and there might be a hole blown in the side of the ship. We'll know.
Let's not do that one.
Let's not do that one. So, why don't you describe your character for us there, Laser?
You're muted, Laser. You're muted.
Oh, is he muted?
That does happen.
I think.
I don't know. What is he?
Or his microphone's flat, not working.
One or the other. I definitely can hear everyone else.
You know.
Oh, beans.
Oh, beans.
Roll a D10 for speech.
Target number 2. Let's do this. So while he's figuring out his mic, real quick, there is also another passenger on this voyage. And she is our first guest. She is Sunrise, crit fail on public speaking. And it is Sunrays, and Sunrays is a brash captain of the ship during the Great War. She wears a Jeff Bezos officer's jacket and is very much of like your stereotypical swashbuckling adventurer. And she is on the ship with you guys.
Swashbuckling.
So, I mean, she's only a guest for 1 week, so we'll see what happens to her character.
Pirates in space. Cool.
Fire to the face. Are you there? Are you alive? No, I can't hear you.
Maybe leave and then come back.
Okay, we'll start off with Nye. Would you like to start off?
Sure. We're gonna have to figure out something to do with pictures that are not copyrighted or owned by people whose permissions I cannot actually get.
Here, I'm gonna move this
So,
over.
you know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna look for royalty-free picture of thing. Hold on. Actually, that's not right. Hold on. This is how you spell that word. Okay, so. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to... Open image in new tab. Here is my character for gnomes to put up on screen. Ready?
It's on. Oh, did you send me a... Oh, it's not on.
Discord.
It's not on. I lied.
It is amazing and adequately describes my character. Like, pictures in 1,000 words. Here we go. And there it is, folks. That's my so I'm going to be playing as a race called the Benthosa. They are fun. They are literally a sentient body of water. And what's kind of fun about them is that they literally are the water. So you actually have like a area of water somewhere on some world, some ocean, doesn't really matter. And just a piece of the water, not just the actual water itself, but all of the creatures in the water takes on one single persona. So my character is literally just some volume of water and all of the aquatic creatures within it. Unfortunately, I have to do a size thing here. So apparently Benthosa do get as large as entire oceans. So technically I could be made up of whales and dolphins, but it's very hard to get them on a ship. So we're going to be doing smaller than that. And so the idea is that typically when you see my character, they're going to be inside of some manner of environmental suit.
So
because they can't hold themselves together.
So are they just like carrying you in a vase?
I mean, so that would be a fun idea. The problem is I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I think the conceit we're going to go with is that somewhere or the other I have a suit. Either like if I'm the one that discovers the ship, once there's the ship, I steal a suit out of the ship, and that's where I get it from. Otherwise, I found a dead body at the bottom of the ocean, and I got their suit. We can choose one or the other.
Exactly, Cloud. He is a walking aquarium.
I am a walking aquarium. So what's gonna be really fun is we're gonna have like picture the suit from from Elon Musk's Crew Dragon, those lovely white things with the glass visors. So you're gonna see like little shrimp popping out and looking around, and up comes a goldfish with googly eyes at you. And the thing is, all of it is me. It's gonna be glorious. Wonderful. So I'm gonna be running with as these characters. One of the things that we're trying to do is the game wants us to do choose your poison if you actually went with this. They want us to run with a trope. In D&D, they have you run with a background and a character archetype, stuff like that. So we have stuff like that, but none of them kind of fit me. So what we're working on is an idea that I remember seeing on Reddit a while ago, was the idea of a healer who they're like your mom. They heal you with a big hug. They lick their thumb and then rub it across your face to heal a small thing. So I'm going with the den mother trope.
The den mother.
That's what I'm calling it, the den mother trope. So going to be all charm and stuff like that. I am not a fighter, so we're going to see how well that works.
I don't think... so, real quick, Teens in Space is very, very brutal on fighting. If you get shot a little bit farther than your fight, you could die.
Yep.
And if you lose slightly, you'll lose an improvement, like your cybernetic arms or legs. So fighting is not really the best thing to do in Teens in Space.
Good news is, Benthosa's gonna be. So the thing is, we have no name for this character because this character has never needed one. So we're gonna come up with one together. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, no, this character can regenerate.
Wolf's already got
but,
names.
I got a few names.
But no, I'm a fighter. I'm gonna do the charming stuff. Mostly just, hi, hun. How are you doing today? Look, we really have to get. Look, can I give you a hug? Look, we gotta get back behind you. There's something in the door, but can we go? Look, hun, please. That's gonna be a lot of the stuff coming from my direction. It's gonna be glorious.
So your preferred vessel, you're in like an old scuba suit or like
So I can't figure out which one. The problem is I can't figure out a good reason for an old style like Jules Verne scuba suit to show up. And the other problem is I need something with a good transparent visor on the front because
I have a thought of sandy cheeks but with a fish.
So it's not one fish. It's a bunch. That's the thing. It's an entire
Aquarium on wheels.
Yeah, basically. Like so the Benthosa start with hive mind as an improvement. So it's the water plus the contained life forms. That's the character. Like if I actually take damage, it's not because the water got boiled away, it's because the fish that was holding those memories got shot. That is right in the rules.
That is in the book. Cloud says he's coming up with cool aquarium names for you.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, so I'm very much thinking like something very similar to just an EVA suit. There's tons of options in sci-fi, and there's also literally what we use. I wouldn't use like the standard astronaut suit, from like the space shuttle and stuff like that. Those are kind of too bulky for our, hey, we're very advanced in the future. But something similar to that.
And so Ryan, you got your mic back?
I think so.
Hey! Cheers for Ryan! Hold on. I got you real quick.
Cheers, I'll drink to that, bro.
Yeah,
Still not
Nye,
spicy.
that actually gives you some benefits though, being a fish person, right?
I mean, are you talking about my default improvements?
Scuba Gooding Jr.
I like how you get +1 to brains. So whenever he rolls a brains check, he can add +1 to it. Because I guess all the fish have like a staff meeting.
I guess that's what it is.
What about
Yeah,
Alan?
you get that.
And he does get hive mind, which
So the thing is, hive mind doesn't help me all that much. That's the problem. My understanding is, so it says that I share a hive mind with a group of creatures similar to myself.
That could work
Wait.
with my character.
Well, you have to be similar to me. I don't know if you being a different species counts. Because there
Something
is an
with the dude.
upgrade to hive mind that does allow you to reach out to others like that.
oh, so you can talk to so if y'all are in the ocean, you can talk to all the fish in the ocean.
Or all the other Benthosa in the area, I think is the concept. I think this is more of a, because other people can get hive mind. I think this is more the entirety of the person is a hive mind.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
There
And
is
now,
a
what
little
is your
more you can do
drawback?
with this.
What is your drawback?
If I'm in my natural habitat, which I'm calling it ocean, so specifically I am saltwater. If we are in the ocean, I also get +2 to grit, so that's also fun.
Oh, that's
Here's the
not bad at
problem.
all.
Yeah, it's not bad. But if I am not in my special suit,
Scuba Gooding Jr.
that's pretty solid.
That's
But if I'm not in my special suit,
for drowning tuna.
first of all, -1 to all stats. And I can't even hold myself together. And because I am just an ecosystem, if something happens to the organisms inside me, I could just die. Just you throw too much chlorine at me, I could just fail.
You can
Oh my
just-
god.
They don't put a little fish food on the top, dead.
Now, are we able to filter your system?
We're gonna have to find this one out. That's gonna be good.
That's definitely a grit roll right there.
Yeah, always
All right,
fascinated
so
about
what-
other feats.
So, what is your fatal flaw?
So the fatal flaw is going to be fun for us because I'm the one that's likely to get us into a lot of trouble. So the Mendoza's fatal flaw is being hopelessly optimistic. Everything is going to go right for us. This is always going to be a good idea, and everyone is going to like us, or at least so I think in every case. So no, those guys over there who are trying to block us from going. No, I'm sure they're going to be fine. All we have to do is go talk to them, reason it out. I'm just going to give them a big hug. We're going to be best buddies, and they're going to help us. Don't even. No. I know those guns are pointing at us. Those are tickle guns. It's going to be fine.
I'm done.
So, quick question. I take it, I'm just guessing, because you established kind of late when the war was wrapping up. Did your character have any preference on Bezos or the United Planetary Sanctuary, or your guy doesn't even really know what that means?
I don't even think they're going to know what it is. So one thing I'm doing, now this depends on how we get the ship. Because if we get the ship in the way that I propose, it's one thing. If we don't, I have to come up with something new. But my character is like 3 years old. Now, I say that they're not a toddler, they've only existed for 3 years. And they came in knowing they're conscious, but they had to explore on their own. So I don't know yet what they know. Depending on where we go, they might have been educated by ship's manuals, they may have gotten information off of, screens underwater, something like that. So it's hard to say where they come from yet. We got to kind of figure out where that's going to start, and that will tell us what we actually know about it.
Okay.
But considering how new they are, a lot of their drive is going to be, I've never experienced this before. This should be fun.
So your character is doesn't really understand the universe, and that's why they're on a ship.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Yeah.
Okay, so
I shall call you Billy Bug.
you made some improvements, and you got Hive Mind, you got Oceanic Grit, and you're a loyal crew member.
Yeah, so loyal crew members. So normally when you guys are doing a thing, we can help each other, right? You can say that you're trying to repair the ship, and one of us can say we're going to come over and help. But thing is, I really like you. I'm going to give you a hug and a pep talk, and I'm going to be assisting you, so I'm going to give you +2 instead of +1. So if you guys need help, you have someone who is always ready to pitch in.
Sweet. And there's a mechanic in here called points, AP points, tokens, adversity tokens. And essentially, our players will get this. I will give them out to them if they play in their character. So if Nye talks to the bad guy like they're best friends, even though it messes over the crew, I will give him a token. Or if he fails a check, like he got hit with chlorine and he fails his grit row, he will immediately get a token to help him out. Now, tokens can be spent to increase a roll or to do abilities. So if he rolled a 5 and he needs an 8 and he has 3 tokens, he can bump that to an 8 to succeed the roll. But also, too, other players can help if they give a good reason how they can help. All right.
Yeah, we definitely have some low crew, we've got some regeneration, because I gotta be able to heal myself somehow, and unfortunately I don't have skin cells, these amazing white blood cells and platelets y'all have.
Right?
So apparently I can spend adversity tokens and my fish get busy, and all of a sudden I heal. I don't know how it's gonna work. And lastly, this just tickled me as an idea. I'm gonna have a utility belt. So I get to spend adversity tokens, and I just so happen to have something that I need. So as an example, you have a smudge on your face. I just so happen to have a napkin in my pocket to wipe it away.
So you're Fish Mary Poppins.
You know what? I love this idea, except, let's be fair, I'm nicer than Fish Mary.
Mary Flopping.
Mary Floppings. And we got some really good ones. I love Wolf put in the chat, Robert Drowny Tuna. That one was really good. And Scuba Gooding Jr. is perfect.
we have some solid ones. The problem is, and here's the major problem, Den Mother. There's nothing in the description on that than those that have genders at all, but I can't help but feel like we're going to have to do something there. I'm going to be honest, I'm actually leaning towards Eva, just because EVA suit.
Oh, perfect. All right,
But
Ryan.
We'll have to see.
Let's see what Ryan's got. Mr.
Okay.
Nimble
Yes, sir.
Grit.
Yeah. So, yeah, my little guy is actually very sure how to pronounce that, but he's basically a little teeny tiny ET, and they are very good with their fingers. They're known for having long, slender fingers, so they can like repair gadgets and fix ships and craft and repair all sorts of technology.
Did you read in the paragraph that said that your race finds its mate based off how long their fingers are?
I did see that. How crazy! So yeah, it's kind of like he's gonna like inspect, people's hands and fingers.
Sounds like
and,
high school.
that's how he.
It sounds like high school.
So what you're
What he's
telling
into.
me is that when you went to the character genie, he misheard you and gave you the 8-inch pianist.
longest piano fingers ever. Right?
Can you turn your mic up a little bit, Ryan? I don't know if you can do that because I got you all
Let
the
me
way
try.
up. Yeah, I can bring this up a little bit and I'll cut the music, the background ambiance, or I'll lower it.
How about now? Is that changing? Better? Any better now?
Yeah, I think it's a lot
That's
better.
Yeah, that's
Good.
louder.
Bring the desktop
More, I can
up,
keep
too.
going.
All right, good. There we go. Now let's rock it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so the thing is he's, Bullshits isn't typically in his little alien kind of sort of naked jumpsuit form. He's typically in a android body that looks like a human, that is an engineer, very intelligent engineer. He's in like an 18-year-old android suit. So he looks like a male who can sort of take care. He has like kits for everything. Sort of like he could be, I think someone at one point, he can be sort of fixing the ship at another. And again, he sort of powers this android suit from like the face of the android. Very much like Archillian from Men in Black. When they find the suit and he pops open and he's sort of in there controlling the android. So yeah, he's very short. And yeah, so let's see. You want me to go through some of the drawbacks?
How's it going, God Prince Chester? So you are a tiny little person that's operating a human suit.
Correct.
I'm kind of picturing like Plankton on that SpongeBob episode where it's like pizza Ronin, pizza.
Right.
Yes, we
and
are
the
doing
thing
that,
is when
God
he's-
Prince Chester. This is the character building today, and tomorrow we'll start our first session with Sunrays as a special guest.
Cool.
So, oh, you forgot that you get +1 to your brains for your race.
That's right. Yeah, I get a couple of neat things. +1 to brains. They are sort of automatically skilled at creating and repairing technology. They get that as an improvement for free, so I don't have to spend the 1 just to get that. So he's sort of all about upgrading, the engines and maybe adding a legal or not so legal cloaking device to the ship, that sort of thing. So he's very into that's how he sort of gets himself in trouble. He just likes to overextend himself when it comes to repairing and fixing items, and it can always be upgraded a little better, and we can never have too many parts or pieces floating around that we can fix and repair the ship or some sort of part or machinery with, and that's how he gets himself in trouble. So
You also too, you get +1 to 2 non-brain stats while you're in the suit.
that's right. Let's see. I feel like it made sense for Brawn and Grit. He's not so much of a fighter, just because he's not used to that in his, being 9 inches tall. And he's definitely not someone to use that ability of the android to fight, but he can surely use his Brawn and Grit with this suit and just sort of like protect people and like stay in the way or that sort of thing.
Oh, you feel very
Yeah, he's,
brave in your suit, so your grit's up.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like, hold on, watch out. I'm in this suit. I can control things a little better,
Perfect. Now what is your drawbacks from your suit?
Well, that's the problem when he's not in this sort of protective suit. I mean, he's 8 1/4 inches tall, so he's just running around. He could get stepped on, So because of their size, they have a D4 for brawn, grit, fight, and flight. So if I'm just running around, I'm gonna have to hide or quicker or get away or scurry away or something, or I'm gonna to be in bad shape. So yeah, that's definitely a drawback for their size.
So you get a D4 in everything but brains.
Yeah, everything. So yeah, I'll have to smart my way out of something somehow. It'll probably be running and hiding. So.
And you chose the trope tech wizard.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. It's sort of a mix of tech wizard, profiteer engineer, just because, if he can sell some things and trade for some parts, he'll do that. And if he can upgrade the ship in some way. But yeah, tech wizard is sort of like his go-to, just because that's just what his entire species is about. So.
And what's your fatal flaw?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, repairing and restoring technology, I mean, it's like a drug to him. Like, if he can restore something or fix something he'll just spend all his time. He'll spend all of his credits. Maybe y'all have encountered some, time where he's spent more credits or some of the ship's credits, just to like buy parts and pieces. And he's thinking like, we'll use these at some point, but there's maybe just boxes and piles of just parts, chips, and wire and all sorts of stuff scattered about the ship. So. That could get him in trouble, but then he sort of always has that part at the ready.
So like, you bought a toaster that was broken, and now there's just a broken toaster on the ship that you keep.
Right. He's like, but we could do something with this. We can certainly use the part. There's coils in there. There's a heating element. We can strip these wires. There's copper. There's something to be done with this.
I love how you're a hoarder.
Yeah, basically.
That's perfect. And you're still looking on your improvements to figure out what improvements you want?
I've got a few. Let's see. I've got a few noted. I updated a sheet on my end. It may not be on your end to share, but I'll just go over some real quick. See, I took Cyberware Hacker, which allows me to sort of improve others and myself in some way. And I feel like if it's sort of having an Android suit, it's like you want to repair your arm, like he'll easily be able to do that, or maybe improve it, or maybe it can disconnect and change out to something else. And he can also, I think other crew members can spend tokens to allow him to improve them as well. So there may be some fun opportunities there. If you're like, hey, let's do something fun, I could be like, well, I can install this and make you stealthy, or maybe I can make you fly. Like, I don't know, there could be some fun stuff there. Let's see. I did take a few just sort of like assess the situation. So he's sort of by nature intuitive, just by like being knowledgeable about species and that sort of thing, and understanding like what maybe people are kind of under, and that allows you to basically ask about a person or a location and maybe get some insight from the GM, and then a few other scanner things like Scanner and Saboteur allows you to again check for pressure gauges and understand like, hey, the ship's about to overheat, I really need to go tackle the engine and cool them down or something like that. So and then I was also looking at Utility Belt too, but for a different reason, just sort of that Inspector Gadgety sort of like here comes the handcuffs out of the wrist, or just something sort of more gadget related, or like if his box of tools, they're like in his thigh, and so his thigh hatch sort of opens up and he can grab tools out of his thigh. So more of a utility belt in that regard. Like that's just sort of where he has all his tools and things that he needs to repair.
Is that a monkey wrench in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
Yeah, basically.
So I'm gonna piggy off what Cloud said, and I could
say again.
I'm gonna piggy off what Cloud said. So, your character's gonna be like, "Oh no, that big old gun's not working," and then you're gonna go, "Oh, it's working a little bit slower than you expected. Let me just tweak it for you, mad scientist with laser pointed at Earth."
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what happens, guys.
Perfect. And now, last but certainly not least, oh, by the way, how many times of the crew do you often on the ship? Are you often outside your suit, or is this like they rarely see you outside your suit?
I'd say in the ship more often. I would be outside of the suit, because when he's got his actual fingers on things, he can repair them. So he's probably kind of like Groot, or he's running around in like a little jumper, and he's able to like, he can crawl up in like the back of a server and like just start rewiring it. But if we're going out to like a new sort of land or new planet or something, he would probably. I feel like his android suit would. I mean, we can kind of talk about this more, but would almost double as like an EVA suit for him, where it's like he could fit in there, but he only can walk around in that android. Like he can't just pop out unless he has another little mini EVA suit. But yeah, that was sort of my and with sort of the android suit. Yeah, so inside the ship, you'll see him running around and like hanging out like
this weird
sitting
long
on the coffee
fingers.
maker.
Are you above average fingers, or are you a grower finger or a
yeah.
shower finger?
I mean, more just a shower by nature. I mean, it's just sort of that's just how he is.
Also, too, where did you stand on the Great War? Were you with the Bezos Empire, or were you more with the United Planet Sanctuary, or were you just picking up jobs?
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to think about that some more because I could see sort of where there may be some draw to like being able to get all the parts and everything you ever want, just order it from Amazon. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll give him a little bit more of a underground, like where he sort of tries to get his parts through like people he knows and that sort of thing. So I'll think about that some more. But yeah, maybe I guess I'm leaning against maybe being against the Bezos sort of empire. But he respects like how far they've come with like technology, so he does respect that.
So you're always like, what did I order? Oh yeah.
yeah, every day it's like almost every day. Yeah.
All right, so let's see what Wolf has, and I'm already giggling at Wolf's sheet.
Oh god.
Let's check out. Is your name Al Ian?
Yes, I am Al Ian. Definitely a regular old human, not an alien. So, I guess my character is based on, obviously, how the story's going to go if we are going to know each other for a long time, or if we're just finding each other and whatnot. So, that all comes into play, since I am a Pugnarian, aka a shapeshifter. So, my thought process is that if we are been together for a while, obviously, I will simply be Alien. If we're just meeting each other for the first time or something, then that can play into the story on how I got onto the ship and etc.
Like it.
So, for people who don't know, he's essentially a blob that transforms into whatever he wants, to whatever species he wants.
Yep, 3'12" on a good day.
So, so what is your like base form that you're normally in?
So that's like a tricky one. Like I said, it all depends on the story. That if we've known each other for a while, my base form will probably just be like a regular, everyday alien kind of vibe. But if we haven't known each other, then obviously my base form is going to be like more like humanoid, so they aren't such a suspect of me.
Yeah, he's exactly like Ditto.
Yes.
So, how long? So I was thinking, how long as a crew? I guess before we go into it, how long of a crew have y'all been a crew?
I mean,
Let's see. So my character is not very. Age doesn't really matter here because it could be different, like they said, for different species. But so would it make more sense story-wise for us to have been a crew? We just need to figure out where we started, right?
What does your story idea, your story arc, does it play better with us being a crew or with us just finding each other?
Well, you have to eventually go to the lost city of Pepsi, space station of Pepsi. So I guess if y'all been a crew for like 6 months would be really, because like the
Okay.
game wants y'all to be like a crew for a little bit, than just like
Yeah.
we met at a tavern.
Right.
Was it called Gnomes?
Yes, Gnome's Tavern. Like and subscribe.
So I'm thinking that maybe like 6 months or so, then I could still be in humanoid form.
Okay.
And
Now-
then without going too much, then I can eventually reveal, and it'll be like a what the fuck moment.
Yeah, because your character is actually pretty. Your race is pretty what's the term? Disliked in the universe?
Shady.
Yes, we are.
Strongly disliked?
Shady.
Hated, despised, wanted to be murdered.
And what's the drawback is the drawback's pretty
So-
big.
My drawback is a -3 on charm. So my charm is only a D10 to begin with, so I'm already going to have a -3 on top of that. So it's going to be difficult for me to charm my way out of things, but that's kind of in line with what my fatal flaw is, which is being overconfident. So kind of like how Nai is like the den mother of like, oh, everything's going to be fine. I come in like Rico Suave up in this piece, and then I just think I can talk my way out of any situation, or that like I can transform into something and just get away with it. Now, me and Gnomes were talking about it, so if I fail my check, maybe I transform into, for example, let's just say a regular human. I transform into a human, however, there's a arm coming out of my stomach. But I'm so overconfident with myself that I don't even acknowledge it. I just play it off, and it's a dead giveaway.
And you're really old. You're 400 years old.
I'm 400 years old, however, that's about 13 in Earth years. When you do the conversion rate.
So yeah, so essentially if they find out that he is a pug, that he gets a -3 to their charm check. Because his race will disguise himself as, like, let's say Jeff Bezos and try to hack into his bank account.
Yeah, my whole race's idea is just to turn into anything they can to get the upper hand on somebody. So whether that be pretending to be someone's girlfriend to find out their secrets, or like Gnome said, pretending to be the Wolf on Wall Street or something like that.
That's
That can
gonna-
come into play for us, but then also it can also build that distrust with the team, because they're like, well, how can we trust you?
And you've had a crew before? I think we talked about it. You had a crew before this one.
Yes, I had a crew before us, and I may or may not have transformed into my dog alter ego, known as K, last name 9. So, to find out some information that involved me may or may not be taking a lot of money from them and then going in hiding.
So they're still alive. You just stole from them.
Listen, I don't know where they are, however.
Space is big, okay? There's room to hide.
There's a lot of space in Space Gnomes, come on.
Oh man! So he is overconfident, and his trope fits him perfectly because he's a hitchhiker.
Exactly. I can transform into anything that gets me onto any ship or any area that I can need to be in.
I also like how none of y'all are really. I think you're the best fighter at a D8.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. My flight's a D20, so what was it I chose? It was the improvement was an escape artist, so I can use my transformation ability to escape into a situation. So let's say we're getting shot at. Oh look, there just happens to be a vent over there. I could transform into Damien, the snake, and then I disappear into the vent. There's a lot of ways we could go about this, and I like the idea of that. Like with the hitchhiker and the overconfidence and stuff, there's a lot of fun to have there. And it also gives gnomes a lot to work with.
Did you fight in the wars, or were you just?
I may or may not have.
Oh.
It depends on what my form was at the time.
So you could have fought on both sides.
I could have been a double agent.
Like, what's that cowboy movie where he sings the Confederate song when they cross the river, and then the Union guys come and he starts singing the Union song as he tries to pick them up?
Exactly. In that way, yeah. I was on the team that could help me the most at that given time.
Does your character really take offense that people don't trust him, or?
I feel like he had that from birth, so he knew that full well people wouldn't trust him. So he said, instead of trying to change their minds, why don't I just live up to that reputation? Make the most of what I can.
You're so overconfident. You're like, it's their problem if they don't like me.
Pretty much. Like, the overconfidence is going to be a big thing when it comes into the shapeshifting.
Cool. So those are our adventurers. We have a fishman, a tiny little fingered guy, and a blob.
Damn right.
So this is the part where we're gonna start talking about our ship. Now, I will get a ship chart a little bit later, but in fact, we will stop streaming this and get our big view. But this is where we're gonna talk about where our crew has joined together, how they find their ship, and why are they heading to the space station called Pepsi. So a little bit background into the space station called Pepsi is essentially this is a station that neither side has claimed or really remembers. The company Pepsi was jealous because Coca-Cola built a space station, so they essentially signed up to sponsor this station, pumped a bunch of products, pumped a bunch of money, and then never touched it again. So it is a rundown station that has survived the war, but barely, and it is floating around one of the moons on Venus. Just no thrusters, just floating.
Does this thing giving off any like signatures? Like, or do people? You said it's you said it's unclaimed and forgotten, but we know about it, right? So
Yeah.
What do we know about it? We just know that it's out there somewhere. Or does it give off some sort of
You know, it's like
signature?
an outlaw post, and you know that
Okay.
it's kind of like if you shadily needs to get something done, that's where you go. But
Okay.
you're not gonna really run into like war criminals live there.
Never mind.
Those are probably the only people from the Bezos empire you will find there are war criminals, and on the other side, and it's just it actually has formed as like a decent trading post, but that's only because if you need to unload, if you're shipping like let's say diapers and you want to kind of get a little bit off the top, you go there, dump a good bit of the diapers, claim that pirates stole that part, and then you make a little extra money. So that's the only way it has been surviving, essentially.
The epic story of Buster Scruggs, diaper smuggler. Okay.
Yeah. So, where did you guys find this ship? Do you want to go with that Nye found it in the ocean? That it was shot down?
I think that's cool. How do we deal with the crew of that ship, or was it like sentient or something?
Thought that I was thinking of is that I have to start in an ocean anyways. So my thought was like Europa or something like that. One of those moons that just is all ocean. For some reason that we can come up with, or we don't come up with, and we force gnomes to come up with, and that becomes a storyline concept.
I like that idea.
The ship crashes on Europa and ends up sinking to the bottom. And really easy at that point to run with someone survives and they leave the ship, which leaves one of the hatches open. Which means that when I come to
What's up,
sentience,
baby?
I can start going into the ship and messing with it. And the hook I was just gonna go with is that there's some sort of entertainment console in there, a mixed education system, something to that effect. That gives me my education, lets me take the ship to the surface. Which means that it's there for your scanners to pick up. It's there for, the pug to run into because he's looking for a place to hide. We have it in there where you guys can find it and we can run from there.
And that could be really good. It could be a job to the people that own the ship because, like I said, so remember in Futurama where the big alien come and they force all the ships to go attack? That's essentially what happens in the war because it's just really bloody that they just we're like, oh, you're a mailman ship? Okay, here's a gun. Go up there and fight for the United Planets. So it can be just a ship that just crashed into the battle. And
So, I mean, playing off of that idea, what if it was like, let's say, Rusty was on the ship as it was going down, it crashes into the ocean, goes to the bottom, he escapes, and has now spent the last 2-3 years trying to find the parts to repair it, but then you came along, went into the hatch, started learning things yourself, and then you brought it to the ocean bed, so to speak, and then that's how you two met. And then maybe you can throw me in there as like someone who was hiding on the ship or something at the time and just waited it out to see what was happening.
yeah, you crash from another ship, and you're just like,
And I'm like, oh look, like I crashed from another ship or something, or like I jump ship from my previous crew. See you guys, and I'm like, huh, interesting.
I could see your character stealing the Elast escape pod by himself.
You know,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking. Yeah, like ours could be the ship, and then you came in on a skate pod.
And I
and
just
we
come in
end
as a
up on the
regular
same
old
planet.
alien from planet Earth.
Ether.
Or, like, there's
I am from Earth.
Okay, so
Okay.
y'all drag the ship out from the ocean, and you've been repairing it. So your ship actually has a painted-on name that says that's scratched, and it says overall because it's all scratched up. Vation on the side.
Now spell that one for me.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
we might have to see this spelled out.
Yeah, here, I'll put it in the chat.
Are you sure you can spell it, Gnomes? I know you just.
It's gonna be tough with the scratches.
It actually just says overall, but Gnomes is so dyslexic he couldn't read it.
Vation. So that's the only word letters you can kind of make out, because like there's blaster shots that hit the side
Oh,
of
okay.
it, and we can make it so that will definitely come up, and somebody in chat is probably smiling because he knows what it means.
I can already see what that could mean.
And yeah, you could have been. Would you like to, Rusty? Would you like to be like assigned to the ship from a part, or would you like to be from the original? Because what kind of ship is this ship? I guess we should.
Yeah, that's what I was
probably-
wondering.
That's the
Like,
question.
yeah, because I feel like if it just sort of crashed, maybe something went wrong. Like it could certainly
Maybe-
be like a science vessel.
I mean, you're a
Um,
tech wizard, right? So maybe you had like a bunch of technology from Amazon or something, and then raiders tried to shoot you down because none of us have a good fight. So it makes sense for us to be trying to run away from something.
Light. Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Light.
Like you're in a research ship, a light research ship
or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
that should.
I mean that.
Yeah, that could work. Like, maybe I was just out sort of exploring, and maybe I got too close to something with parts that I had on board and had no idea that it was an issue.
yeah. And
And
then
then
they
they
tried
just-
to shoot you down, and
like-
then one of the last members jumped out of an escape pod and landed.
All right, that is perfect.
Well,
That is perfect. Yeah, so you found the ship. How many bodies did you take out of the ship? How many dead bodies?
That's a really loaded question. Is it how many dead bodies did I find, or how many dead bodies did I take out?
I guess both. If you have like a spooky skeleton on your ship.
Follow-up question: How many did-
That's exactly what I'm gonna do because I loved this bit from Red Dwarf. No, I found at least 3. They didn't get taken out or anything. They're still down there. And so that's Matt, that's Tracy, and that's Veronica. They don't talk very much, but they've been good company while I've been learning things.
Now, does your other crewman know that there's dead bodies in your room, or do they?
yeah.
Oh no,
let's-
no, this is when we surface the ship. I imagine
Oh.
Rusty forced us to get rid of them afterwards. See what I'm picturing. Wait, go ahead.
I was thinking of something with like Bates, Norman Bates, where his mom talks to him about
No. This is a good thing to start with. Like what I'm picturing is that we have the ship crashes, and I picked Europa for a reason because ice above water, so you guys can actually be on the icy surface doing whatever you need to do. Maybe there's a base there, while the ship is Titanic level under the ocean. So what we end up having is Rusty is getting his parts together. He's also trying to scan where the hell did it actually land. I know it's somewhere around here because I saw the hole X months ago or whatever it is, but I don't know where. So he's out one day, and all of a sudden, the nose of the ship just through the thing like an icebreaker submarine. He's like, "Wait, that's mine. How did it get up here?" And that leads to the boarding and this suit should not be moving because I know I'm the only one who got off. What's going on? Like we kind of have that water
Like-
draining out of the
Out of the ship, the water's draining, and that's
Yeah,
what it
and that science vessel works very well.
is. I like that.
Yeah, it's not me. I'm the one talking
Yeah.
about.
I do still like,
But that science vessel idea works very well. That puts the education system in there. That we have knowledge banks. Like that fits that concept.
I do want to rewind just a hair because I like finding the ship and learning everything
Okay.
on it. I like my sort of like finding it. I like the idea of like maybe there is something sort of unique about this ship's signature that like sort of brings me to coming upon it. So like I feel like then that would give you this like sort of time and maybe years pass where you're learning this stuff on the ship and you're able to surface it, and then maybe when it surfaces, like my trigger goes off and I'm getting that signature,
Right.
and then I come find it. So I don't have anything to do with the ship, so then you find the ship and then I find it, and then we're able to maybe do something together, and then we find out later that somebody owned it years or decades ago, and
Oh, so you came to the planet studying something, and then you're like, "That's a really weird broken ship. I have to go fix that ship."
either that or like I'm just always sort of scanning for things, and I picked up something on the planet, went after it, and then when it surfaced, that's when it went off, and then I had a rover, went down to explore, and then that's when I see the ship and the water's dripping off, and like it's just a giant thing sitting out, like a glacier, just a big iceberg. So yeah, I think that'd be awesome. And then
Because I can picture you with like a little scanner, and you're like, "Where the fuck is this ship?" And I was like, "Kaboosh!"
Right. Yeah, so it's sort of like a moment for him where he's not like, "That's mine." He's like, "This is amazing! Like, this is so much bigger than I could have
Like an
expected."
epiphany moment, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And,
then
then,
we
I still
could,
like the escape pod for you, Wolf. You came off that ship, and then the closest place for it to land was on the same planet. So you end up on the planet with the ship you tried to escape from, or something. And then
Yeah.
we're like, "Well, there's no civilization here, so we have to take you with us and get out of here." So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
You
the
know, you
idea of
land
Wolf
back on the
taking the
planet,
only
you're like,
escape
"Shit."
pod.
There was one escape pod, and I said, "My name is Ant, last name Arctic, so I will be leaving now."
So, Wolf, you were on the ship beforehand, and you had jettisoned because you're just a hitchhiker.
Yes.
You were in the little smuggler hold, and that was
Yeah.
part of the escape pod. Then you popped out, and then you're like, "All right, I'll hit civilization," and then the ship lands, nothing. Well, I guess that would make sense because if that much time had passed, it would be funny though if
I mean, it would make sense because, in a way, like, my character can just live off the elements.
so
But,
maybe
like-
you were like in orbit, and then like something happened with the pod. It finally
Yeah,
ran
like
out
the
of
pod
steam,
lands
then
or
it
something, and then I'm just
accelerated
like, okay,
10
with my
years
character
later.
trope, I'm like, okay, I need interaction with other beings. I'm sick of being alone.
You can't.
Sick of being a penguin.
You can't get information if you're sitting alone.
Right, my whole job is to get information and swindle people, and here I am.
So,
Mission.
so that's the thing. The ship crashed. You found it in the water underneath the ice, and then you
Well,
found
now I-
it because you were looking for something. You got a weird thing, and this is a ship that you've never seen before. It's like an insect kind of looking ship,
Oop.
or something like that.
Yeah, either that or it had something on board that gave off a unique signature. It could be a device or some sort of hardware or the engine, like the way the engine, whatever the thrusters were made. It's like that gave off some
It
sort
has
of like weak
300 Bitcoin on it.
signature. Or yeah, maybe even some sort of like radiation. It's like I picked up, I hadn't seen radiation and and it's like let's go check it out.
God, I'm just picturing the Heart of Gold, and it just you go, oh my god, I found it. The ship that's powered by pure bullshit.
I mean, you do have a transforming blob, and and then you could have,
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
was
recommending
reading
this,
it.
but
and you could have, so you all find the ship, and you get to work. Is that where you find the dead crew from before Beyond the Grave?
Yeah, maybe they're in the ship, and then, or maybe they're in that had long since their usefulness since they were underwater.
Oh, I've had a great idea.
So what you got?
What if Nye's character ate them, and you can just see their bodies decomposing inside of him? Since it's just a
think I'm
giant
quite that
spool of
big.
fish.
Like there's a skull like floating in his head.
It's over the years, so you'll see like a random hand and an eyeball pop out and just. It's not...
That's a little bit
We're
that's a little
taking
bit
a
too
twist.
much a little bit too much away from the dead mother. So what I'm picturing is we crash up. Rusty happens to be there, and he comes over and he sees that the ship came out from under where we know there's only ocean, and the hatch is open. It's like, I didn't see anybody leave. Walks in, just, hi, welcome to my ship. Your ship? You're the only one here? Well, no, come see. I've got friends over here. And he comes in and just sees them. They're still in the pilot seat and the gunner seat and the navigators, strapped in, still in their suits. But you can very much see just this skeleton head just leaning against the side.
Hey, cheers to you,
Just
Ben,
introduce
for the
them.
subscription. 9 months.
Thank you
cheers.
so much for the subscription.
Yeah,
And
like
I get to
one
have
has like
the
a like a
unfortunate
beam in his chest.
understanding. I get to have the unfortunate understanding given by Rusty. Those aren't still alive. No, they're not still in there. They're not just
Nice.
quiet. No, they died a
Okay.
while ago. We get to have that
Let them-
moment.
We're gonna let them rest forever. Yeah.
So Cloud says, I have doubt with Nye's capabilities related with gaining info. Can you extract a little bit of you, leave it behind, and communicate with it? So can you like put a fish back in the ocean, or do you have to have every fish?
So the idea, as near as I can tell, is that the Benthosa is the entirety of whatever ecosystem I am. So the way I get hurt is not that you boil away water, it's you destroy the ecosystem. You kill a fish, something like that. The hive mind does allow me to, not at the level I have necessarily now, but if I were to upgrade hive mind, I can reach out, go distance like that, but it's never going to be like a communicator or something like that. I can't do something like that.
My question would be then, with that species and that, if I transform into it, does that give you the capability to use hive mind with me because I have the same kind of transformation?
Cool.
That'd be something we'd have to ask gnomes, because you're still just
Different species.
you're a Pugnarian who is currently see-through and pretends to have fish inside of you. I actually am the fish, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it
Um,
works like that. Which that could
That's
be
right.
the thing that uncovers you, is he tries to talk to you like for fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work. That's how you could find
probably
out.
hide in his water
Must-
body.
Must be fresh water. I can't talk to them for some reason.
So,
From the land
uh,
of pet cod.
giving fishes to other members as phones.
Actually,
So-
my thought is that I can't even talk normally. It's only through the translator on the EVA suit.
So you
always
just
sound
kind
a
of all join together, and y'all built up the ship together, because Wolf has some knowledge of the ship because he was on it at one point.
Is that how
Probably
you wanna
broke
play
it
that,
more,
Wolf?
you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
am I discovered at this point, or do they still not know that what I am?
It's up to you. This is the best part about Teens in Space. It's up to you. I mean, we can have
Well-
everybody roll a brains check.
And-
Target number 12. See if they notice you.
That's
Sure.
not going to work very well, but I can try. Did we find
I'll
out?
roll
Does
that.
it does work? Hold on, wait. Does doing that? Does this work?
What I did want to mention, Wolf, is
Does it work?
I like
Yeah.
if you still go with the idea that the ship has crashed, Mendoza has
Oh, it does add a plus
surfaced
one.
it. I sort of came across it. I like the idea still that a ship somewhere, something happened to it. We don't know what. Either you escaped, it exploded, whatever. And
Yeah.
literally the closest planet to escape to was our planet. So like we're like literally the 3 or 4 creatures that are on this planet, and then that's what brings us together, because we have to get out, and we don't know a whole lot about each other at the time, but I think over time we sort of learn some things about each other that would allow you to sort of at your
To work,
preferred
yeah.
form before we, maybe discover the
Oh,
value.
everybody just joining in. This is session 0 of Teens in Space, the series Gnomes in Space. I am the Dungeon Master, and these are 3 teenagers that will be traveling the space doing all sorts of things in the Chaos and Fill world. And right now they're rolling to see if they know if Wolf is a shapeshifter. Target number 12.
Okay, how do I roll?
So if you go onto your character sheet and go onto the character sheet actual tab, the second tab, just click on the actual word, fight brains. Click on the actual word.
Okay.
And it's actually going to pop up a thing saying, do you get your bonus? Yes or no? Yes.
Okay.
And are there any miscellaneous penalties? If there are, add them, and then just submit, and it rolls.
So would it... I guess there isn't right now because I haven't spoken to anyone. So there wouldn't be any penalties, right?
Yeah, there's no penalty. Well, you're not rolling because they're trying to figure out if you are...
Well, I still need to figure out how to roll, so...
Yeah, so just try. Yeah, see, so you just got a natural 1.
You got a natural 1.
Good work.
Wait, so I only have one die?
Well, you had so
Stat
for
for now.
for that roll, your stat for brains is a
Oh, okay, yeah.
a D6.
Oh, I got it. Okay, cool, cool. I'm just throwing
Unfortunately,
stuff,
it looks
ignore
like it doesn't have the exploding die built in for this particular sheet, so we have to do that manually.
Okay. So you rolled a 10? And a 17?
I rolled a 9 plus 1, so a 10.
Okay.
I just
rolled
rolled a bunch of stuff to try testing, so...
And what did you
17
roll,
total
Ryan?
for me.
17 total?
17 total for me, yeah.
Okay.
I'm all about the brains. So
He's like trying to intuit like what type of species you actually are, and he's kind of eyeing you.
Okay.
He's like more intrigued than anything. He's just like,
What am I?
Okay, so what maybe you and Wolf can decide what gave it away that he was not a human.
well, I imagine here's what I think it was when you crashed the pod. Maybe that sort of you had like a shoulder that was like it's like broken. It's like too far forward, and you're just like totally fine with it. You're just like, oh hey guys, and I'm like his shoulder, and I'm like, wait, he's not. There's something totally going. Like that's not. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a huge
and then
gap
he sort
right
of goes
here.
over to look at your shoulder. And say, hey, are you? Do you need assistance, medical assistance? I got his arm, like his hand, kind of coming close to your shoulder. He's noticed that it's like all beat up. He's like, okay.
Like my arm's just like up here, and I'm like, hey guys, what's up?
Is that not what humans normally look like?
His adrenaline levels must be through the roof. There's no way that he would be crying in agony with that sort of.
You see half of the buckle still like strapped onto me just because that's the natural shape that I took.
He's like, excuse me, in order to help you, assist you better, do you mind me asking what species you are?
I am Al Ian.
His like head sort of looks back, and he's like, you hear him under his breath say processing, like looking back and forth. His eyes are scanning back and forth, and he says, if you need medical attention, please let me assist you. Yeah, his thigh will open up. It's like it's like a mechanical thigh. It opens up, and like a little medical bag pops open, and he starts pulling out medical tools. And he's like puts something like a stick in your mouth, and he's like, here, bite down on this.
So your character kind of
he's about to like reset your shoulder. Getting like this like leather strap out. He's putting something in your mouth, and he's about to like crank down on this thing.
Oh, so Wolf, what uniform are you
Yes.
wearing? Are you wearing the black and yellow of the Amazon Alliance? Or are you wearing the gray and blue of the United? Or some kind of mixture?
Let's say I am wearing a black and blue because it's like a mixture of
Yeah.
both, and because I crashed and I'm trying to just blend in with everyone, I don't want to make enemies or friends at the same time. I'm kind of just feeling out what's going on.
So that way when their backs are turned, you change into that color?
Yes, exactly. Now it's got to be noted as well. Every single like scenario or transformation, I will have to have a name change just so it plays into the character and certain areas that we're in.
Okay, so you crashed on this thing, and you three are rebuilding the ship.
Yes.
So this is gonna be part of Teens in Space, which is really cool, is that they're going to. Oh, Ben, I don't know if I said what's up, Ben. Thank you again for the subscription. 9 months, hell yeah, Ben. Thank you. You're allowing us to play Teens in Space. We'll definitely have a guest on one episode. That'll be a lot of fun. And Cloud, since Cloud's been talking all during session 0, he'll have to be a guest. So essentially you're building, and Teens in Space is awesome because this is what helps build the world and will help build the character. So the way they answer these questions will allow me to throw NPCs that would mess with them. So for instance, if Nye is a neat freak and they say that him and Wolf had a fight over dirtiness of the ship, I might add tension to the crew by adding an NPC that is very dirty. And this Wolf will agree with the NPC and be like, who cares? He put mud all over the ship. And I would be like,
So,
ah!
my question for you, Gnomes, is like a situation like that. My character is going to be more hostile to NPCs because he's more overconfident. So, like, straight shooter.
That's totally
So,
fine.
So, let's say Nye is a neat freak, for example, and you put an NPC in that's dirty. I then transform myself into a used wash rag. Like, just follow him around like, what's up? What's up?
Super passive aggressive. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not to a point where I'm trying to screw anyone over, but it's like more of a annoyance to keep the whatever theme is going on that you created, you know?
So technically Nye found the ship. What's your character's name again, Nye?
I'm gonna go with Eva.
Eva? So
And
Eva
that's
found
literally
the
just
ship.
because on the patch on the thing it says EVA suit, and they like the idea.
And you're like, that's my
I like
name
it.
tag.
Yeah, we're going with that.
So Eva technically found the ship. So I guess if you say finder keepers, losers weepers, Eva is the owner of the ship. So how did you guys join onto the ship, and how did you convince Eva to let y'all fix the ship up?
Yes, imagine if I was the one that sort of I imagine I sort of sent out maybe like a rover. I came in on a rover and I was able to maybe had my character has on his little suit on the inside of the android. He came down, he landed on the planet because he was picking up these sort of heat signature, some sort of signature.
That's a perfect
like,
picture.
he's sort of exploring around the planet for maybe an hour or so. And then that's when, I feel like this ship just bursts through the ocean, like he's sort of caught off guard. He's like looking the totally other way, and then he turns and he still sees it like coming out of the water. So
Like you had to drive a little bit away
I'm
from
imagining
it,
like
you're
a
on top
Planet
of
of the
it.
Apes reveal where like he sees the Statue of Liberty.
it's like
He's like,
raising up out of the
I mean,
You
it doesn't even
blew
have
it
to be.
up!
We don't have to overthink it. Like, we get to use my flaw. Hey, your ship seems to be a little bit broken. Would you like help? Yes, I would. It didn't fly straight this time. Please come help.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's what I was gonna say. With your trope, it's definitely easy for you to be like, "Hey, come
Oh,
help
it's
me."
easy for you guys to do this.
And then Al was just like, "Hey, can I get off this planet?" And you're like, "Yeah," and be our best friend forever.
Yeah,
It's funny.
exactly.
I have another bedroom back here. Come on. It's cold out here. Come on.
And that could tie in with Rusty. What's your character's name again?
Nimjets.
Nipshits? Is that what you said?
You said dipshits? What?
nimble hand, like nimble hands.
Yeah.
Nimble jits.
Oh, your
Yeah.
mic cut off, and it sounded like you said nipshits. I was like,
I'm spelling it in Discord.
Okay, I see
Nimble
that.
gets.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it right here. So Nimble gets. You know that something is very funky with Al, that he might not be a human. Since
Right.
Eva, since your role was close enough, you aren't 100% sure that you think he's a human, but you're like, wow, humans are really weird. You
But
think he's a
if I
very
find
weird
out,
human.
like, I will be very blunt and just be like, "Oh, you're this species," so I wouldn't be like hiding it for you. Rattle off like if you found out what species you are, you'd be like, "Oh, you're this type of species." Like I haven't encountered any of you around.
Yeah, I think
this
that
sector.
that'd be cool if like you used your like technology and stuff, and you was like, okay, well this guy's shoulder's completely screwed up, so I want to see how I can fix that. And then Eva's just like, it's okay, he doesn't need that arm anyway, it's fine.
I don't know if it goes quite that far.
If he only had one leg, he could work at IHOP. Don't worry about it.
No, that yes, absolutely that. But I'm sure you can take care of them. You got this. You can do it.
So what? So now that y'all fixed up the ship, what is it that was your first intentions of doing with the ship besides getting off the planet?
Yeah, so imagine after it probably takes some time to sort of dry out, and I start sort of messing with any sort of hardware or technology that was zapped by the water, and if anything you weren't able to sort of dry out basically with your body or whatever, however that works. So imagine you just sort of like flow from out of the ship, and then it's just completely dry and just like ready to go, like that. I feel like I dig that.
All that fits into the suit, I think, but I'm not sure if a ship's worth of things fits into a single spaceship. Or spacesuit.
My idea would be,
Sort
so
of
let's say
creeps
you
into the
got
suit.
off of the planet, and like we got it repaired enough that it can fly, but there's no shields, there's no blaster or stuff like that.
I was
So
gonna say,
our first thing is to try and repair those stuff by like going out of the planet to try and find areas to get stuff.
I
And
was
that's
gonna
where
say,
it can come in with
Rusty, roll me a brains check, and we're gonna see how much of the ship that you fixed. And Nye and Wolf roll a d4, and we're gonna add that to whatever Rusty rolls, because I'm guessing he's gonna take the lead on the fixing.
That sounds like a smart idea.
Wait, so what am I
Happy to
rolling?
oblige.
Y'all are gonna roll a d4 just to see how much y'all can add. Okay, so Eva knew a little bit of the ship because there was like a manual. So
Right. Look, I
rolled
am
a 15.
intimately familiar with that manual at this point.
okay, so 15,
Right.
and then what did
Yeah, 15
what
total.
d4 did you roll, Wolf? Because you would have some knowledge of ships. Like you're a hitchhiker.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, you don't have a lot of knowledge on ships. You're just a hitchhiker.
Second one. What are you
So-
rolling on?
20.
So
Okay.
you can roll straight in roll 20 in the actual chat if you just need a regular die /roll 1d4, whatever it is. If
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
what I'm
have
trying.
it,
And then they have this little thing right here. So
Yeah,
you got
D1s.
that's a 20 total with because Rusty Laser, you got a 15, right? Okay,
Yeah, I
so you
did,
got
I
about
did-
80%
I
of the
did
ship is
slash
operational.
roll 1d4. That's right, yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
it does say you rolled a d4.
Yeah, okay. So I got 1. I suck. I'm just a simple hitchhiker.
So yeah, so y'all got about 80% of the ship operational. There's still some parts of the ship that won't turn on. But you've got the flying, you've got guns, and you've got a tad bit of a shield up. And you can go kind of fast.
Yeah. So, and I've got a I'm gonna keep a sheet. I'm gonna probably keep a ship sheet too. This guy.
Okay.
So there
And I'll sort of
might
fill it out.
actually be a ship sheet in roll 20, by the way.
Let me see.
Perfect.
'Cause I couldn't
it's
find
worth checking.
one. Let me do.
They
keep
might
it
not
in
have
one.
one, but
Cool. Yeah. I think you start out with like 5 heat units that you
Yep.
can sort of mess with. You start out with like 1 point of thrusters, 1 point of shields, 1 point of manned gun turrets.
well, don't. I thought we roll for that.
Those
if
are
we're
like
inventing our own.
oh, maybe those are like default. So like even on this
Right.
sheet, they're already filled in for you.
Let me find
Ignore
the.
that. I was just testing things.
Yeah, see if you can find it.
I'm looking for
just
it.
like every ship's default stats, and then yeah, we start building onto it.
Okay.
Well, I could have sworn it said you roll. I'm looking for where
Well, maybe
it is,
we
and
fixed-
they don't have it all together.
Yeah, while y'all were
Maybe then-
talking, I was trying to find the ship.
So maybe Gnomes chooses like certain things that haven't been repaired, and that's where we can go based off like the improvements and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, maybe this is the die because it says. So I'm on page 6. So it says, unless there's a strong narrative reason otherwise, each ship begins the following improvements at default. So it says D4 manned turret guns. I thought that was you roll a D4. Maybe it's manned turret guns that do D4 damage.
Yeah, it adds to your
that
skill
stat?
D4. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
like
we
when you
start
shoot a
with-
gun, it will add fight D4.
Yeah.
So if you get better guns, it will add. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
that makes more sense.
So, oh yeah, class of ship. So here we go. Is this ship ancient tech, envoy, a freighter, a scout, a science vessel, a prototype, a stealth vessel, or a warship? I'm gonna say not warship.
I'm gonna. So my suggestion would be, and again, I'm not the DM or GM or whatever, but I feel like that's a role for Rusty's repairs to see what it could be.
Oh, like Rusty got this hunk of metal.
Like if it's been underwater for 3 years, then he can either repair it to a certain type
yeah.
of ship, or like it just gets repaired naturally. Like depending on what he would roll, would be what we could get up to. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Let me check out the science.
4, 5.
Let me look up the
6,
science
7.
vessel.
Page 8, Rusty.
So I guess if you want to roll a D8,
you.
and then we'll re-roll 8, and then we can see what you got.
There's an 8. Another 8.
Cloud has brought up a really good question. Another doubt this is for wolves. If other people is around you when you transform, do they see a blob transforming or are gruesome enough to traumatize someone? Because depending on the answer, it can be weaponized.
Definitely gruesome enough to transform someone.
I will make NPCs roll grit rolls. That's
Okay.
Okay.
Because I like the idea of like, let's just say I'm a cat, for example, and then I transform into like a bear, and you just see like this cat ripping out of its skin and just a claw coming out and shit. And people are like, what the fuck is happening?
yeah.
I can just picture you going from ditto form to human, and instead of just the way that you'd expect, no, first you very rapidly over the course of like 8 seconds. First, you become a skeleton, then the organs grow out of you, then the muscles wrap around,
Yeah.
then the skin wrap around.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll make people roll a grit roll when they see it. But they'll also, too, after, if they pass it, they will 100% know that you are, because normally it says with Shapeshifter, they have to roll a brains check, just looking at you going, what is
Yeah. So I can always be like, I have to roll that and then see if they can tell like there's something off with me.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I'm a human, for example, and I come out and I'm looking completely purple, you'd be like, hold on a second.
Yeah. Or if you do something not human, like if
Like
someone,
having a long finger.
yeah, or someone's like, would you like to eat? And you're like, humans don't eat. And it's like, wait.
See, I like the idea of that, like, because I've hung out with these guys for so long on the ship, when I transform, if I fail, I have one of their features that is a giveaway. So, like, let's say, again, with the human, I transform and I just have nice fish head. I'm like, what do you mean this isn't human blub?
So, so what was, so have you rolled the D8 to see what kind of ship you built this thing into?
But you're not gonna believe me. I rolled a 26. It exploded 3 times. So 26 total.
What were you rolling for?
You want me to roll it and they exploded, right?
I was gonna say roll a D8 to see
I
what.
was testing, sorry.
Roll a D8 to see what kind of ship that you.
No, that's not me. He already rolled.
And then it exploded. So I don't know if that.
Oh, okay. Well, since you exploded a million times, what kind of ship do you want to build?
Here's the thing. I'm thinking it should be either a prototype or a science vessel. Basically, a combination of those things. And I think prototype is sort of like, here we could put together, and maybe we even got parts from the crashed pod from. Sorry, I got all my names over here from Al. And maybe we were able to like put that like sort of Frankenstein that to the ship and use the thrusters or something like that. So
So it's
sort
like
of
a prototype
like,
that
maybe
you
we
built
can-
into a science vessel. and this like Frankenstein monster.
I like that.
I
Can
like
we name
it.
the ship John Cena because he was the prototype?
But he would be able to see it. It does have stealthy abilities. Let's do that.
Sweet. So you get this. So you have this ship. You built it essentially the way you wanted because your other two compatriots don't really know what they're looking at.
Honestly, I would want them to sort of say like, "Hey, these things should sort of be on the ship," and I would be like, "Yeah, let's think like maybe we can make that happen, and then we'll sort of build it together." Or I'll see if. So imagine it's sort of a creative process. It's not. I mean, some things like I'll go ahead and take it upon myself to like upgrade the engines and stuff, that sort of thing. But if you guys are like, "Hey, we need to have a greenhouse or something," I'll be like, "Yeah, let's make a greenhouse, and like I'll upgrade it too. Let's do that." So yeah, I want you to let me know what kind of stuff y'all are interested in.
Okay, and we can message the improvements and then we'll say them next time. So
Can we put an aquarium in there? That can be like nice, like
I just need a bathtub. I mean,
like that can be there, but you're saltwater.
well, no, like bathtub. That's my bed. I just like put the
See,
suit at the bottom and then just take the helmet off.
See, I was thinking like an aquarium or something, so then if you got damaged during combat, that's where you can go in to regenerate and recover.
kind of
Well,
like
okay,
the
so-
in Hellboy, where the fish guy would swim around in.
Well, so here was my thought on that. One of the improvements that I want to buy for the ship, because we do have improvements we can buy, and I did save improvement points for this. I'm actually going to be buying a regeneration chamber.
Oh, okay.
cool.
As part of our improvement. That's one of the 3 improvements I'm gonna buy. So that would naturally come with whatever you guys need to do. So we can say that my part of that is, an aquarium that we already have stocked with various fish that I can integrate, but it takes time to integrate, and that's my level of healing.
Does
I
anybody
have
want
kind
to?
of native healing I can do, but
Does anybody want to buy the self-destruct improvement?
Definitely not.
Tell
Yeah,
me more.
the 3 that I was considering, so regeneration, buying 1 greenhouse, so that's enough to feed 2 people, so we technically need 1 more. But also I'm buying 2 EVA suits, so one of them is mine because that's what I live in, but we also have one for one of you, that way you can leave and actually be in the vacuum of space or something like that. Yeah.
Now, am I able to be in space without the suit, gnomes?
I don't think so. I don't.
There's a
think...
specific upgrade for that.
Yeah. Yes. So if you get that upgrade, you can be in space.
Because my PDF is on my phone and I don't have batteries.
So there is an improvement called. Let me find it.
Skateboard, Blaster Master.
Now tell me more about this self-destruct button.
So there's one called Skywalker. It's 4 improvement points. If
Yeah,
want
you
it.
can survive in space for the number of minutes equal to the grit check. If you have time to prepare for entering the vacuum, you may treat this as a planned action.
Okay, so then... Okay, so I need to... Can you send me the link for the PDF or whatever the improvements are? It's on my phone. Let's see. I mean, you can do it later. It's no big deal.
Yeah, we can do that later.
And that way I can see what I need to improve and shit.
So, how did you guys meet your other crewman, the swashbuckling war hero or villain, depending on who you talk to, from the Jeff Bezos empire? We're going to give you a name the next session because Sunrise has to give me a name. But how did you guys meet her? I'm guessing it was after the planet.
Before we answer that, is she confirmed for tomorrow?
Yes, she is confirmed.
Because I don't want to give this whole story and then we're like, about.
If not,
So I'm
I'll
so I'm
find
gonna
someone else to
say-
play her.
I'm going to say she was a gift from Amazon Prime for being a great subscription.
Okay, here's a question. Important question. So, ship is technically mine because I found it. Who's actually flying it? Because Wolves has a better flight stat than I do, but I presumably know more about the ship than he does.
What are y'all's flight stats?
I'm sitting at a 12. He's
I'm
at
at-
20.
Yeah, I'm at a 20 for flight.
Wow.
I guess we could do that in story. Wolf, does your guy have any experience in flying?
Well, so I may be confused. Like, this is shoot. This isn't in character, but I
Yeah.
thought flight meant like running away.
It's both.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, so
okay.
you can say like I'm not a
Yeah.
pilot, but I can escape anything.
Right.
I think
Okay.
That's valid.
So,
Yeah, so you don't have to be in character. You don't have to be a great flyer. You could just be a great driver, or a great runner, or a great.
okay, so then, yeah, my character is going to have a lot of experience in that with all the escape pods that he's used
Okay.
over the years and using those to land in certain areas.
So you're just a ship stealer. You just like.
Everybody's ship in the sector is always missing like one escape pod. They're like,
Yeah.
what happened?
Like,
they
I
just
haven't-
fall out of the ship. What?
I haven't seen Bob O'Fett recently. Where did he go? I can roll and then see what you want.
Well, the reason why I ask is whoever is flying the ship is going to be one of the main people to decide where the hell we go.
Well, I feel like that would be a team effort though, and then like let's say I fly the ship. Okay, where are we gonna go, guys? And then we decide on that because I don't know the planets in this world.
it's the same.
What I
Yeah.
what I do is I go to the place, I steal their shit, and I leave.
I have one option. So I could create or bring a remote control for the ship, like where I can like program the remote just to work with the ship. Like it's just something I have on me, and then I could give that to you. So you would get, I think you get like a bonus to. Wait, is that right?
There is a remote control improvement for the ship, so that is something you can get.
Something else.
How much is that?
I think it's 2. Let me go find it.
Here, I got the book.
It
right here.
allows member to
Remote.
control the ship without without being on the ship. So
Yeah.
basically, it would be a remote, and then you or I could fly it. And I think it'd be kind of fun to say like, "Oh, I've never had a ship before. We should take it around." And then like something happens, or it's like, "Hey, it's
Right.
your turn. Like, take the remote."
How
So
the hell
we
do
could
I-
play that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
I like the
download
idea of Wolf being a flyer because he just steals people's ships.
I mean, yeah, that works
Wolf is the Among Us of characters.
too. The Kanye West of Teens in Space.
Well, after
Hey,
how
what
about this?
page-
We'll,
Al
page
is
did you
very
improve?
sus.
Is that page 17?
The stuff I'm talking about is page 68. That is that's the ship upgrades.
Dude, that is perfect, Cloud. Al is like the boyfriend in Wonder Woman. He can fly a WW plane. He can fly any plane.
right.
You damn right.
So that could be that you meet her in Pepsi, because you just fly, essentially, just off the planet.
Yeah, I'm looking at the improvements. real quick.
She
So how many?
located her
how many
lost
IPs do we
escape
have?
pod.
Well, your IP is so you start with 10. You
Okay.
spend X amount on yourself, and what's left over is what you get to spend on the ship.
Okay, and where's myself?
Yeah, and I think before that, it says everyone should spend like 1 to 2 points. So I know we're kind of going around talking about those. I've been writing down things that you guys are mentioning.
Yeah.
So I guess, Gnomes, you tell us like we'll probably.
Okay, I will give you one for free because y'all RP'd it and I like it. I'm gonna give you your rover is gonna be automatically on the ship.
Oh, okay.
Since you
Awesome.
RP'd it and you exploded like a million times, I'll give you the rover.
Well, here's the thing. I also like that it was able to get me to the planet, to the surface, and then sort of drive out to the ship and get aboard it. And now it's on the ship, and it's sort of like beeping and bopping, and I'm trying to get it to charge everything up and power the ship up and bring it to the surface so that we can, board it more easily.
Yeah.
Rusty has the sheet, right?
The sheet.
Rusty. Yeah, the sheet for the ship. The ship sheet.
I have one. It's
Okay.
not online right now. I'm gonna write it up, and then I can either.
Okay, so if
I'll
I spent
transfer it.
like 1 IP on Armory and 1 on the cloaking device, that would give me 8 left.
That you would get to spend on yourself, yeah.
So here, yeah, what you probably want to do, like for me, I was thinking a good story one for you would be like smuggler hold. So that would be like
Right,
a
I
one
was thinking
for
the same
you.
thing.
And basically we'll just the escape pod that you had. We can either make that a new escape pod, or we can say it's like a smuggler hold.
Now I will give
Um,
you some GM insight. Smuggler hold might be really good.
Well, for you especially, and also if we're able to make a remote, you can literally be in the smuggler hold, and I think remote fly the ship around,
Yep.
and nobody would even know you're in there.
Oh, how
So
did
I
you
did
get to
that.
Europa? By the way, Nibble gets.
By way of France.
I had like a space taxi drop me off in a sector with me and my rover and my like suitcase. I was like, I'm just gonna go check this out, and I'll either call you back or I'll signal that it was a one-way ticket. I'll take the rover down to the surface and then start
Okay.
exploring. So I've got like all this equipment all over the surface area, so that's why I need to get the ship back and collect everything. I just sort of spread out. I've been there for maybe a couple days looking for something.
You Uber to.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, there's nothing out there, man. I was like, you could just come right back up, pick me back up, and we'll get out of here. And then this happened,
Oh my
Fun
god!
fact:
Come
in
out,
the, in the
he's like, "Hey, something
future,
happened
it
on
is
that
free
planet."
with Amazon Prime.
It's free with Amazon Prime.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, that is another thing, loyal viewers. Elon Musk has left in the middle of the Great War. No one knows where he went.
Do we like? I mean, he's probably just been captured. I mean, somebody's probably finally gotten their hands on him just to like shut his mouth and keep him off like future Twitter, whatever.
Yeah.
Future Twitter, yes.
Because I guess that's how Wolf and Nibble gets. How do you guys I guess essentially view the Great War and view the two powers to be?
I mean, like my character may be a little bit more disassociated from all that in a sense. Like he sort of just kind of gets lost in his own exploratory nature, of like trying to find the next. So I mean, I think he probably knows things are going on, but maybe I don't know. Would that make sense, or would these events have directly affected everything in the galaxy, or that sector or
I feel like
universe
you'd
or
be
whatever?
loyal
How's
to
it work?
Elon.
Like I feel like you would know the war's going on, but you could be so absent-minded in your equipment that you really just don't follow the news. You just go, "Oh, there's a ceasefire." like,
Yeah.
like you really don't care either side as long as whoever gives you funding to work on a project.
So that's where
Yeah,
me and Nibble
man,
combined.
I dig that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll build whatever, man. Like, put me to work. Like, I want to make something amazing that nobody's ever seen before.
So he wants to make money by
maybe that's
building,
what
and I
got
just
him in
want to make
trouble.
money. So that's where we can have a bond.
And you could also too enjoy the part of the Great War because you're like, wow, look at all the scrap metal falling to the planets that I can use.
Let me just push these bodies away.
So
I think, like, ultimately he'd want to, like, not be in the line of fire. So if there was something outside of that, he may be more intrigued.
okay,
Sure.
so you just have you don't really care whose flag flies as long as you can build cool stuff and get funding.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that.
And then Al, you just don't care whose flag flies as long as you can get on a ship and get the next job.
It doesn't matter whose flag is flying as long as the checks are coming.
and then Eva, I guess that you're just kind of taking in strides. Oh,
Yeah,
is my
you
cat behind me yelling at me? Yeah. What's that, Roka? She's very upset that I'm not playing with her today. Okay.
Same.
So I guess that's the way y'all can go to Pepsi is y'all get the ship flying, and I guess you can role play to decide where y'all want to go in the universe.
I mean, Al, I feel like you may have some sort of
I mean,
underground.
there's a couple of places that I know of. Now, Gnomes, are you caring about names of planets and stuff, or are you just gonna be like, whatever? We're
It
gonna go there, and you're gonna make it up, or do you want me to make up a name, or what?
If you want to make up names, we could roll to see if you're lying or not on the names.
I'm down with that.
Okay.
I'm down with that.
Just make one pep. Yeah. So you can go names. You can use corporate names because this is like corporate space. Corporate space America.
Corporate Space America. Okay. I feel like we should go to a planet that has a lot of scrap metal that we can use to harvest and try and fix up the rest of our ship. So I suggest we go to the planet known as Bed Bath and Beyond.
So the universe does have it's the same universe. So it's like Venus, Mars, Mercury, all of that.
Oh,
But like the stations and the cities are named after
then
big
let's
companies.
then let's go to Uranus.
You had me at scrap metal.
Okay, roll a roll a brains check, target number 6.
Oh, you bastard! That is a 1.
That is a 1. Okay.
How have
Seriously,
you
are you
done
rolling?
this?
Are you rolling D1 dice? Can you
No,
check?
It's a 1d6. That is his. God. Ow.
My brains is only
Ones.
D6.
Roll it again. Roll it a 1 and.
All
roll it
right,
again
so
until
you
don't
now
get it.
have 4 adversity tokens.
Roll it again until you. What?
Yeah, see this goes.
So yeah, it's definitely not just the 1. It's like it's rolling, but I just have bad
Yeah.
results.
Hit it one more time. Let's see if it goes up with a 1.
Okay, I'm kind of sus now.
Yeah.
If this comes back to as a 4, there's a problem. Okay, no, so it's just my shitty luck.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll take. All right. So roll it one more time. That's the roll we'll take. 1. Okay. So you have 4. You have 4 tokens. Would you like to use them, or would you like to keep that 1?
Let's just keep the 1 for now.
Okay. So now you have 5 tokens. You know that Uranus is a planet that has life on it. That is it.
does. They are swamp people.
Eva, you roll. You're gonna roll your brains, target number 10, and yeah, you can also roll your brains too. Nibble gets target number 10.
Nope.
So 4.
Yeah, I
would
got
you
an
like
8.
to? You have 3 tokens. Would you like to use any of them? I think you have.
Oh, is that
And then what did you roll, Nibble? What was that?
I don't think 3 are gonna help with that roll. That roll's tiny.
What did you roll, Nibble? An 8?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 3 tokens starting out. Would you like to use them?
About this planet that Al is telling us about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use 2 tokens. I want to make sure he's shooting straight.
All right, let me get my planets in order real quick. I didn't think y'all would go to. I should have known y'all were going to Uranus. Like, I don't know why I wasn't ready for Uranus.
Why would that not be the first one we would go to?
Okay,
Like I just wanted to go that way. Okay. I mean, it was an easy
Right.
choice for me.
so Eva, you know that Uranus is under the control of the Empire of Bezos. However, you do not know what they do with that planet. You're just like, no, that's a planet that Bezos has. Nibblegets, you know that the planet Uranus has been a big watch point for Bezos, and it is a military planet where essentially think of it as a factory where all of those Amazon Prime things, that's where they mostly shoot out of and build and gather the resources. But it became a military planet essentially when the Great War happened.
Yeah. Oh, we shouldn't go to that planet with the way the ship is armed. Like we don't have any way to defend ourselves. Our shields aren't up and running. Like I don't know. You think it's an idea to visit that planet? Isn't that a sort of a known Bezos empire
Well, I didn't
We
know
should
it was a
stay
Bezos
from-
empire, but what I do
It'll
know is
it'll
that
be fine. They'll see that our ship is broken and we need help, and they'll just come help us.
I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but have you seen my? Have you seen me? Nobody can resist this.
Yeah, you're right there.
Are you
With
are
your
you
shoulder
changing-
hanging
isn't
a
wrong.
few inches too low, we should probably fix that up before we dock at any planet, or they're gonna send you to the medical bay very quickly.
Listen, I'll let you guys decide where we go then. However, I'm just saying, once you go to Uranus, you're not going to want to go anywhere else.
Saying we're not gonna be able to get out.
Not without a lot of lubrication.
Why did I not?
Space
We're
dust.
just going there. This is apparently the direction we are
This
going.
is apparently. All right, so who is flying and who is navigations?
Should we just roll on flight to see who gets it?
Yeah, let's say we're all like pulling the remote. We're like, no, I want to go here. I want to go here. Let's roll flight. Let's do it.
I guess you could
Okay.
roll. I guess you could roll flight to see who runs to which spot first. How about that? We'll make it a race.
Oh,
Pick it up.
okay.
So everybody
I
roll
really want it.
flight. Whoever gets the highest roll decides where they go on the ship.
I rolled a 9.
And there it is. Natural 20. Wait, how do you have +6 to flight?
No, it exploded.
Yeah, it exploded. I got a 20.
It-
My flight's
Did it
D20.
explode? Let me see.
I
Well,
didn't see
20
it
and it-
automatically explode earlier.
Yeah, because it went
No, that-
20, then it went +6.
Maybe it doesn't
Apparently,
automatically
okay.
explode if you type it in, but it does if you put. I don't know.
Weird, okay.
Yeah, because he doesn't have plus flight to. Okay, well. All right,
I don't have
so
anything added, right?
Al, you run to. when they say when
have
they
test
say
this one.
okay to Uranus, you are already running up the ramp to the ship. What did you get, Nimble?
Oh yeah, it does automatically explode. Okay. Nice.
9.
A 9, and then Eva,
7.
you got a 7. Okay, so you see him taking off, and you immediately follow, and I guess you look confused. So where do you go sit there, Al?
Right at that cockpit.
Okay, so you get behind the wheel, and you tell me what you start doing. Does it feel familiar?
It feels like riding. You know what? A bike. I'll be PG friendly on this. I was gonna say like I felt like riding
I
Bandit's
think
mom.
that particular spaceship has sailed, but
I mean, we're going to Uranus hard and fast, so you know.
Damn. Well, we're not necessarily. I'm still open to the idea of not going there, but it also becomes on Rusty's ability to convince me.
All
I
right.
mean, honestly, like I'm pretty easy to convince. Other than me just saying that we're not really equipped to fight with anyone. But if you say like there's work to be done, or there are things to be, jobs in repair, or
Alright, so
anything.
Okay. So I'll sit at the cockpit. I'll look directly at the wheel, and I see 4 lights to the right of me, 3 to the left, and that big old shiny key. I push all the lights, I turn the key, the ship starts to go up. We take off, and we're heading hard, we're heading fast, we're heading quick, we're heading softly, then we're heading a little bit fast, and we're going soft again. And we're heading a little bit hard, and then we're going soft again. And we're
Yeah.
railing it down.
Wolf's
we're
best
going-
stats in flight.
Yeah.
So before that, where do you go sit? Nimble gets. There's the comms. There's different stations on there.
Probably, yeah, sort of the comms. Like if there's like a scanner of the ship, like there's got like a screen. I'm sort of at that screen, just watching like the planetary. It's got like ship stuff going on, and I'm paying attention to that. So
Okay.
I'll
Al, can
throw
you
some
roll
scanners.
me a charisma check? Target number 6.
Charisma.
I'm sorry. Charm.
That's a 19.
God damn.
Damn, you're exploding now. All right, so Nibblegits and Eva, when you walk into the ship, you see Al looks like he knows exactly what he is doing. Like, it is second nature to him. He's not, he's, like, looking away and, like, hitting buttons over here and, like, just, like he looks really comfortable when you walk into the ship.
And I'm really impressed because I'm like, he just found this ship and like we've been on this ship and he's just like, here we go. I'm like, whoa.
All right. So you're gonna sit in the communications. Eva, where are you gonna sit?
Screening.
It's a good. What are the options at this point? So pilot and navigation are gone.
So there's also the there's the captain's seat, and are your guns controlled by a remote, or do you actually have a turret? Are you gonna have the space fish be the gunner?
Gun turret. It's me.
What did you find?
Apparently the actual the book says they are manned turrets specifically. I don't know if the if that improvement fixes that.
Let's do roll Nimblegits, roll a brains. Target number 14. Let's see if you can program this ship.
I got a non-natural 20. I grab the remote and I'm like, let me see that thing, and I'll just start programming it, and then I'll like plug in. It sort of comes out of his forearm. He like plugs in a download and starts boop, 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 boop. It's downloading, and he pulls it out and he's like, here you go, and he passes you the remote so you can things from wherever in the ship. You know, within reason, I guess.
And
like if it's controlling it or flying it or maybe using those turrets, that'd be cool.
And you also too have in front of you like all the readings, like what's broken on the ship and the heat and all of that readings. Nice. So you're controlling essentially.
I guess I'm going to the captain's seat because that's the comfiest if we're going this direction.
You're the captain's seat. All right,
Like-
so you take off and you enter into the atmosphere and you go into the space highway and you start driving to Uranus as quick as you can. As you're
Let's go.
flying, as you're flying, you immediately are approached and pulled out of hyperspace by a ship. And this is it is a two-man ship. As you see that a gate has pulled you out and a two-man ship is coming up to you. Everybody roll me a brains check. I'll give a bonus to Al. I'll give you a +2 bonus at target number 6.
Oh god.
Hey, I actually got that one.
I just got it. I got a 6.
How did I get a 0?
Did you-
You got. I don't know. How did you manage a 0?
It said plus. All right, just roll.
As far as I can tell, you got a -4.
I got a
From your
2
sheet.
plus
That's
2, so
wrong.
I got a 4 total.
You got a 4. The target number I said was 6. So you get
Yeah.
put another adversity token for you there, Wolf. Wolf, you have no idea what the markings on the ship are, and you assume that it's not good because there is a gate that stops people from being in hyperspace. So you assume that they are either pirates or they want something from you. What did you get there, Nimblegits?
6. So just barely.
6. You see that this is a Bezos ship. A two-man Bezos ship. Now, Eva, you know, which is funny that you know this, not only is that a Bezos ship, but you know that anytime entering a key planet like Uranus, usually you have to check a passing port, which I'm guessing on the records you have like ship has passed checkpoint 2C. So you know that these people are just checking to see if you have the paperwork to head to Uranus.
Oh, wait. I remember this one. Wait. I was reading the whole. They were talking about all these other ships, things like that. Right. I was reading this thing. It was talking about all these other ships, and these are the welcoming committee. They might have a cake. They just want to welcome us here. It's fine.
Nibblegits will speak up and he'll say,
These seem to be like pirates. I don't think they're going to stand for cakes or just letting us pass through without proper paperwork. And then
They're
he'll
just
sort
bringing us some booty. It's fine. We should go say hi.
I will simply speak up at Al and be like, listen, I've heard pirates' booty's pretty good.
So as the ship
Hashtag not sponsored.
as the ship comes closer and closer to you, you see more of the Amazon logo on the side.
Look,
And-
see, it has a smile on it. They have to be nice people. We should go say hi to them. Isn't there a thing where we can talk to them, maybe? I know there was supposed to be a button around here somewhere.
And at this point, you hear,
Would you like me to put you through?
put us through the ship.
Let him through.
All right. State your business and your claim.
Which one of us is supposed to be handling communication?
Yeah, who handles comms here?
Well, he put
Yeah,
it through so that you hear in the he put basically this guy on speakerphone in the spaceship for you guys. That's what that's what you did, Nibble gets, huh?
He asked again. He asked us to state our.
Yeah, he's like, state your name and your business. Hello, Nicky Puss. How's it going?
I am Amos Zon. I am here to work.
Roll a charisma check.
Hey, can I grab the comms real quick? I'll sort of switch it back over. I didn't
Roll a
realize it was
charisma
on
check
everyone.
10 there, Al.
Oh God, here we go.
That's an 8.
Okay. Would you have, I believe, 4 adversity tokens? Would you like to use 2 of them?
6.
You have 6. Would you like to
Yeah,
use
I
2 of
will-
them?
He has been failing a lot of stuff.
I will use 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mind you, these are pirates. You now have free.
Hey,
comms.
thank you so much for the hosting, Nicky Puss. We're doing Teens in Space, and this was supposed to be an intro thing, but they've already lied to the authorities, so...
Oh, wait. They. I take umbrage at the word they.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
say
one
that
of
you were
us.
looking for work. The guy pauses. You could like hear his hand taking off like the button, and a couple seconds go by. Are y'all saying anything in the couple seconds?
I may have fucked this up, guys.
Sure, our comms are off.
Well, you know that he took like you heard him like take his hand off the button. You know, like on a radio, like.
Should I say
Alright.
hi to them? I want to meet new people. They sound nice. I want the cake and the booty, whichever one they have, or both.
It's the same thing, damn it.
But
Guys
I would
may
like
not
that.
be up and up.
So he comes back and he goes, well, it is kind of rare that you have a ship, so I guess we do need more ships for work. What kind of work are you going, and what are you, and who are you sent to talk to?
We are delivery men talking to Mr.
Talking
Are these-
to Mr.
I was trying. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to think of a clever name. I completely brain farted.
Talking to Mr. There's a lot of misters on Uranus. There's I should have said in Uranus for the butt joke, but
I'll switch the comms unit over and say we are a prototype science vessel looking for work that is about surface exploration and sort of unknown territories, and we chart areas and sort of that. So we're best to go into unknown areas and suss things out and bring valuable research back to you guys. So that's what we're good at.
We also hear there's a lot of cake and booty for people who do it right.
Good, I like that.
Roll me. You two. Actually, all 3 of you. Evo, you can roll a charisma check of 6. Gets roll me a charisma check
Oh
of
my
4,
God.
and also Al, roll me a charisma check of 4. That. Charm.
You gave me the stat I actually am good at.
At 18.
I got a 9.
And I rolled a 10 charm.
Oh god, well you're just charming the pants off of this guy.
And just has to be reminded that all of this is coming through a translator on the suit. I'm picturing some sort of like crashing of waves in the background, but this really eager,
a lot
a
of
white
misters
noise
on your
machine.
anus.
You
A
just
damn
hear,
lucky guy.
You just say, caw, cake.
So he goes and he goes, well, we do like giving cakes on for good work. So yes, you can earn yourself a cake. It's very tough to earn a cake now that the war's on us after the war, but we'll see what we can do. But that checks out. We're just gonna do a quick scan. Please do not fly off. And all of a sudden, you just see like a bunch of green lights just like trickle onto your things.
I grab the steering wheel and start to look nervous.
They were nice guys. See?
No sudden
They're
movements.
greening our ship.
I look at Ava and I say, well, you were right about the cake.
You can't go wrong with cake.
So essentially, the guy goes, well, the vessel that you guys are in is it seems to be under an owner from Mars. Are you guys from Mars?
I grab the communication system. I said, well, actually, yes, I am. My last name is Mr. Shion. If you want, you can call me what my friends call me, and that would be Ma.
Roll a charisma check. I mean, you charmed his pants off, so I'll give it to you at an 8. So roll a charisma check.
That will be an 8.
This dude is the fucking dumbest highway patrol man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I look at him directly in his eyes, and I flip my shoulder around and say, look, see?
he clicks off the thing and clicks back on. And he's just like, yep, that sounds like a Mars name. All right. Give me 1 second. I'll find what port you're supposed to land on, and then the comms end, and y'all are floating in space for a little bit.
Space.
That went better than expected. I didn't think they were going to go for any of that.
I told you they were nice guys.
Than I
You can go
expected.
wrong
They
with
look
Marsh.
a little bigger than I expected.
I love how all of y'all have high charm. Like you guys are gonna talk your way out of every problem. I love it.
It's the only stat that I thought I would actually use.
We are master negotiators.
So you hear a big bing, bing, bing on your board. Nibble gets, and it pulls up directions on a port to land.
I'll check it out. I'll start heading that direction. I'll punch in the coordinates and I'll tell everybody where we're heading. Be like they'll pull us in. Is that what they're doing? They're pulling us in, or they're
Yeah,
giving us
he
directions?
clicks on. He goes, all right. So you're going to port here. You're meeting with one of our star cadets. They said they're very interested in you. I did ask to see if they had cake, but they do not have cake today. It was a Samantha's birthday about 2 weeks ago, but maybe there's something left. I don't know. Samantha's kind of fat between you and me.
It's your birthday. If we're long enough, we could celebrate that. All right. We were really looking forward to the cake, but yeah, we'll head to meet the Stark in Port 309.
May the glory of Bezos always shine on you.
Yes.
Roll a brains check, everybody, at I will say, Al and Eva, you will get it at 6, and Nibbles, you'll get it at 8.
I'll use one adversity token to give me a 6.
Okay. So Wolf, that's just the weird thing that Bezos people say to each other in the Bezos Empire. A 10, that it is a great Eva, you've heard that it is a great insult if you do not agree back. And what'd you get, Nibble?
So I might change my answer of my reply.
What'd you get? 14? Okay, yeah, you know that is a huge insult that if you do not ask for the glory of Jeff Bezos back to an officer.
And the glory of Bezos
reply-
back on you, hun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'll say it very sort of blankly and also with you. Click.
So you feel the ship loosen and you're able to, and you start like moving towards the planet Uranus.
As we're moving towards, I look at Ava and I simply say, "You sure you want to do this? There's no cake now."
There might be cake left.
Days.
They never said what kind.
But it's cake. I've never had cake. I want to have cake.
Just
Cake is supposed to be really good.
So as you are
Sure.
landing into this thing, as you get closer to the planet, it looks blue, but when you get closer and closer, it looks black, and you cannot see the surface level at all. And it's kind of roll me a grit check, 6 there, Al.
Okay. That is a 5.
Would you like to use a token?
Yes.
How many tokens do you have left? 3?
2.
2. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because you failed every check in the beginning of the game.
This is correct.
So you're first a little nervous about landing on this planet because you don't like landing on things you can't see. Hence, when you landed last time on something you couldn't see, you almost drowned in the ice. and you met 2 aliens. So you
Facts.
kind of go in kind of like slow and like irking, like somebody who just started
Yeah, I
packing up
do.
on a trailer. You're like,
and,
And-
you still have 1,000 meters left to go. Like
Yeah,
you still
I'm-
got
I'm a-
plenty of room. You just
I'm gonna back it up into Uranus.
And so then you see the port and you see 2 Bezos guardsmen standing there and another guy who has like 2 sticks and he's doing like this, getting very frustrated about how slow you're coming in.
So I look at the crew and I say, "Well, there's 2 of them, 3 of us, and the guy with sticks. I've seen Enter the Dragon."
I don't know what that is, but he seems to be trying to help us.
your agitation level seems to have heightened. I would not advise against doing anything we could regret against these Bezos Empire mercs.
I'll
Calm down
host
and make sure.
What do you what suit are you wearing? Because you said you were having a mixed suit there, Al. Are you changing under the sly?
Like, so as we started to get pulled in, you said it was dark, right?
Yeah.
So during that time where it was dark and before we came back into the light, I switched into the Bezo colors.
Okay, so you're black and gold.
Yes. Do I need to roll for that?
I'll have everybody roll a brain check, a 10, to see if they noticed.
I'm not going to get a 10. My brains is a 6.
Oh, not you. Not you. You noticed that you changed colors.
Oh.
The other 2 people.
So I noticed, but I don't think anything of it. I rolled a 13, but I don't think that I
You said
would've-
a brains check?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so you have no idea what's going on in the front seat. You were excited about cake.
Yep.
Story of my life.
Yes, I am.
So when you land the ship, you see a human. You see 2 humans that are standing there, and they have the official guard, like the black suit with the yellow stripes on the stitching, and 2 rifles. You see the guy with the stick, and he's running over and grabbing like a fuel line to connect to your fuel tank. And you see essentially an android-looking guy walk up to your an android-looking human that walks up. Now, Nibgits, I want you to roll me a brains at 6, and then I also let Al roll brains at 8 on this gentleman.
At 8?
Yeah.
Fuck me. That ain't happening.
I mean, you get it. It's not the worst thing if you freaking.
I got a 2.
You got it too. Okay, this looks like a human to you.
Oh.
What'd
Alright,
you
I got
get?
an 8.
You got an 8? Alright, you suspect that this is someone from your own species because of the craftsman work.
All right.
Is that the company?
So they're going towards the ship?
Yeah, he's heading towards the ship and he's got a huge data pad standing in front of you. Eva, you
Okay.
see it as another person to make a friend with. I
Hey.
mean, do you want to roll brains to see if you can figure out if he's a robot or not?
Try.
All right, 8. Okay. Would you like to use some tokens?
It's not that important. He's a nice guy. I'm sure he would like to do nice things with us. He can share our cake if we ever get any.
Yeah, he has a pad. It might be the cake distribution pad.
You know what?
Actually-
I might have to ask.
Would actually be interested. He wants to. I would like to spend my adversity token to use my intuition to find out if this species is an android suit that's coming towards our ship is like nefarious. Like with this bag, is he coming to like take stuff from us? Like you said, they hooked up a fuel line. Are they filling us up? Or are they taking fuel? Like I want to know if they're pirating us right now. If that's what's happening, so we can decide if we need to get out of here.
Oh, dude, I
So
love the
just-
token.
I'm working on actually getting it in here.
So you see nothing nefarious going on. You essentially using that, you kind of see like, okay, that's just protocol. Is if someone's allowed to step on their dock, they're gonna fill it. But you know that they're giving you a job. This is not.
That's great.
Like they want to use your ship, whether you're on it or not, but they prefer you to be on it.
Guys, we may have found unusual opportunity. So he'll sort of make out and be like, sort of good job for like you picked a place and like we got some work. Like he doesn't even know what it is, but he's just excited that we get to.
Money is money, and we need to upgrade some things.
Oh, and also too, you notice with your ability that the guys who have the rifles are not really. They don't have their finger on the trigger. They're just like kind of just like sitting there like fucking guard duty again.
Okay.
like
That is. That,
like they're yawning and like all right, this is.
Fair enough. Yep.
So the guy comes up to you and he goes, "Please exit your ship."
I'll hit the. I mean, if we do, we need. So let's see. Are we on a surface, right?
You're on a dock. You're on like a little
The dock.
landing dock.
So, do we need suits for this, or are we good?
No, you're good.
Perfect.
This
Okay.
is essentially when you left in, you felt the atmosphere because you would know that they've done the technology to build fake atmospheres. So you felt the atmosphere come in, so you can leave the ship.
So yeah, android suit. And like I said, I look like a 19-year-old male humanoid. Like clean thin, sort of slender, nerdy looking dude. With like a case and like a scanner that's sort of hooked to something in his belt. So, and the hatch opens up, smoke, and then yeah, I'll come out thinking like, hey, let's greet these people, and I see a fellow. What is it?
Born an Athean?
I don't even know how you pronounce
Yeah,
that.
you
It's
should
such a weird
absolutely
word.
know your own species name. Come on.
I don't know how to pronounce
Laura Caterin?
it.
Laura
Victorian?
Caterin?
Laura Caterin? Yeah, Laura.
Yeah,
Victorian.
Laura Caterin. Okay, do you acknowledge? So when he comes down, let me figure out what he rolls. I'll do a secret roll. GM.
You don't do like the ancient and mystic secret handshake of the Lorcatorians where you reach out and shake hands and then a small hatch opens up in your wrist and you connect wires for a second to share information and
No, he fucking bobbed his roll.
Oh no.
He thinks you're a human.
good job you.
I
like,
guess he's
really
got to
excited to
roll
meet now.
brains too. Okay. Are you coming down the ramp, Al?
I am walking, and as I see everyone, I give them an old, "Hello there, fellow humans."
Oh, fucking course. Okay.
Course.
He bypasses you, Gib, and he comes up to Al, and he is looking up and down at you, and he essentially goes, "You can't fool me. I know every race and species in the universe. You dirty pug."
I look at him and go, "Sir, I assure you I am not a dog. However, if you play your cards right, maybe, just maybe, I can be your pet." And I wink at him, and I just casually bypass.
You know what I mean, Pugoranian.
And I look at him, I look him up and down. Like, I look him up and down, and I said, "You can put any spin on the name you want, I'm still not a dog."
And this is when I'm gonna come down quickly because I'm all excited. Hey! I heard there was gonna be cake. You can tell me where to find the cake.
Well, Samantha's birthday was 2 weeks ago, so there's no cake left.
Choir
There
as
might be
to
leftover.
as to the type of cake.
Aww.
What a strange. You have a human, a dirty shapeshifter, and he's looking at you, and he sees a bunch of fish, and he's like, a ecosystem? A Benzatari?
Something like that.
How did
I'll look at him and go, "May Bezo be with you."
roll a charm check at -3.
No.
Here we go.
What's my
Oh, your target
Go.
number is a 10, because
Oh, I got
five.
an 8 minus
If
3 is
only-
5.
Yeah, if only.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get another adversity token, and he's just like, "Why don't you let your human do the talking?" And he looks to you, which, by the way,
Yeah.
behind the scenes, so a 4 to see if you were a same species at him is he rolled a 4, and he rolled a 16 to see if Wolf was. So he has no, even though you're the same species, he has no idea that you're not a human.
Yeah,
It's the shoulder.
everybody off.
Get into the main lobby. We are examining your ship to see what you can best serve the great Bezos.
I'll sort of like offer up suggestions and be like, "Oh, we have a plethora of aquaponics in our greenhouse, hold. We have we've upgraded our engines," and I'll sort of go over some of the things. As I talked about, we can mention the cloaking device if that would maybe get us into some stuff.
Okay. Roll a charm check at 6.
I want to assist with this by adding
Is
and a really nice bathtub.
Okay.
bathtub, and I'm sort of like seeing if they're interested in that, if that's a thing that they care about.
Now, can I also throw my hat in the race here and be like, "I still want cake"?
What'd you roll?
Rolled a 1, so I need all the help I can get.
So you say there's a bathtub. Would you like to? How many tokens do you have?
I think I have 4.
Oh, but I was into the amount. I was like, we have this greenhouse and aquaponics, and we have a scanner.
Okay, so
system,
you have
and-
3 tokens, Nibble, and he has 4.
I thought I used those.
Oh yeah, you used 2 of them, so you're at 1. Would you like to just keep the roll?
I think I've used 3 tokens so far on my sheet. So.
So I guess you're just keeping the roll.
Yeah.
He basically like looks down at his thing and he goes, yes, everyone. They say humans treat their ships like their penises. They always over exaggerate. And he like clicking, and you see like him clicking downwards, and then he goes, Well, you were going to hallway 29, but now you will be going into hallway 37. Here, follow this droid to it. And he just like walks off towards your ship.
And then, affirmed, and we'll head that way. Are we heading down hallways in sequential number order?
Yeah, so
Chronological?
you're walking down and you just see like everything is like kind of like orderly. Like every hallway is beautifully labeled. There's like colors on the ground. You can even see the highlighted route you're supposed to take as this droid is like leading you over there. And you just see like people, there's some people kind of working, and then there's a lot of like guards like smoking a cigarette, just sitting at a table, like pressing a button for the door to open. Like it's very mechanical and monotonous is this building. And then you go and you turn, and then the door will open up, and you will see a female human standing there. And she has we're going to call her Rose now, but Sunrays will come up with a character name. And you will see a beautiful young woman, and she has a kind of like old school pirate jacket, and it is in the Bezos colors with gold laces, and she's got 3 medals on one side and a giant gun on her hip. And the droid goes in there and like shoots back from beside the room.
Just immediately, ooh, I like your jacket.
She looks at you and she goes, "I know, I'm pretty cool, ain't I?"
Yes, you are. Wow.
I will simply say, arg.
So then all of a sudden, a tablet drops from the air, and she catches it midair, and she's just like, "All right, so you've got, I don't even know what kind of ship you have here. It looks like a hodgepodge of parts. Where did you find this ship? It says it's from Mars. That's where it's registered."
It is registered in Mars. Just give it like factual stuff back, and he'll sort of mention that it's a prototype science vessel with these sort of amenities and features, and we're here to do it for the Bezos Empire.
She says, she looks down, she's like, "Come in the room," and close the
All right.
door.
Yeah, head on in.
Yeah, and so the door's shut behind you. So
He
you
looks at the fourth wall and winks.
Me or all of us?
Wait, what?
All of us.
Yeah, she
Oh,
calls for
yeah.
all of y'all in the room, and the door like quickly shuts, and she goes, and she
That's why.
she walks over to like one of the cameras in the room, and she kind of like hits a couple of buttons up top on it, and you can see the lights turn off, and then she goes, "All right," and she throws the tablet. She's like, "You may be able to fool Lucas out there, or who's ever, and the guy who pulled you in, but what the hell are you guys flying?"
A ship.
And I'm going to repeat the same thing, but I'm going to go into greater detail about the thruster capability and the like heat unit BTUs and like just sort of all these like prototypes of like maybe some just the scanners and like the capabilities of like these scanners and the range. And
So
he's
you're
sort of,
like
going into more
bragging?
detail about the thing. Well, no, he's just going into detail about the type of this sort of ship, so she understands like the class of it, even though it's sort of a Frankenstein ship.
So you're like, "Yeah, the thruster's going at a 90-degree angle, causing a velocity of a."
Going into like, here's our speed, the velocity, and like how we've upgraded. So yeah, he's kind
After-
of getting into it.
After Nimble's like halfway through, I look at Rose and go, "Doesn't matter what we're driving. If you're so smart, what are you riding?"
Well, roll a charisma check. It's gonna be a versus. Let's see if
13.
A 13. Oh god.
Ship. I'm looking for her to point to a ship.
Okay, so she smiles and she laughs and she goes, "You got me there. You got me there. What was your name again?"
Ow.
You got me there, Al. And that's where I need you guys. I don't really want to be on this planet. Uranus is a trash place.
You could say it's a shithole.
Oh, I forgot to see. You're right. I forgot to see if he knows. If she knows. Hold on. Okay. D10. Okay. She does not know that you're a pug. Wait,
Otherwise,
it's
this could have gone very differently.
it's against each other, right? Shapeshifter.
I think so.
Let me see.
So you're saying she is a shapeshifter too?
No, she's checking to see if he is. If
How would
she
you know,
recharges.
though? Because I
Oh,
haven't
roll
done
your
any-
charm. Roll your charm there. One more
I
time.
did.
Oh,
Oh.
roll it one more time.
How would she know though if I didn't do anything in front of her?
So people can look at you if they're trying to figure out what you are.
I got a 9.
Would you like to bump that up 2 times so she does not know who you are? Wait, did
Here's
I roll
my
the right die? Yeah, I did roll the right die.
Here's my question. This is going to be Sunray's character, right?
Yeah.
So, what I do now is like, is she going to be coming in and then just being like, "Oh, I know this, this, and this," or is
No,
she going to?
I'm gonna tell her that.
All right. What if we tie?
I think you win. So if you get one more, you can tie.
Let's bump it up to 1.
Okay. So you look like a regular old human. So I'm guessing when he caught you, you like fixed yourself up.
Yeah.
Like when he caught me, I was stretching and like my shoulder popped back into its normal position, but as it did, it went all the way back.
Okay.
And he saw that like it did a 360 before it went into a normal place.
Okay. So she's like, dude, this place is a shithole. I used to be in the stars fighting battles against the United Planets of bullshit, and now I'm stuck doing paperwork down here on random ass ships that come from Mars. So, you guys don't really want to work for the Bezos Empire, do you?
So we're not getting a project?
We're not getting cake?
You're getting a project, but depending on how you answer this question is what kind of project do you want you'll get.
We do. We are interested in that. We have made that.
What kind of project are you offering?
Well, I need to go to Pepsi.
And we need cake.
She starts digging into her pockets, and she pulls out like all this weird artifacts and stuff, and then she pulls out a big old thing of like gold that's like this thick, and she goes, "That will get you fucking cake at Pepsi."
I look at
Roll me a brains, everybody. Target number 6.
I'm smart enough to know if they have cake on.
I got a 9.
You got a 5 or 4.
Got a 5.
You
Oh, that's a 4. Yeah.
Dai, you think of this as a shiny rock, and you are like, wow, shiny rocks turn to cake.
Ooh, I saw a lot of those on the floor of the ocean where I was born. That's so cool.
What did you get, Nibble?
I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5 too?
Yeah.
You are quite interested about this shiny rock, and you have no idea what Pepsi and rock and cake are together, and it's baffling your mind. Unless you want to use adversity tokens.
Nah, it's just kind of like they're speaking some sort of language that I'm unaware of, and that I haven't been programming. Like I don't have in my programming. Like
This actually works out perfectly because Al would know, being a smuggler hitchhiker. Al, you know this is a very valuable piece of metal that is used to connect electrical units in the atmospheric. And people really desire this metal. And you can buy a fuck ton of cake with this metal.
My eyes light up, but the others can't see that. But they start to bulge a little bit. They're like, "Ooh."
Yeah, like you
I
know
look
this is
at-
top dollar, especially from those space stations.
I'll look at Rose, as we're calling her now, right?
Yeah.
I'll put my hand out and say, Pepsi sounds like a fun place to visit.
she's like, I had a feeling that you'd be the one that would agree.
I said, I don't know what gave you that idea, but cake is cake.
So here's the mission. I need to go to Pepsi. There's someone I need to talk to, and then we need to get something off of Pepsi. Simple enough?
I would like to inquire about the thing that we need to take off of. Like, is it an item? Is it a thing? Is it small, large?
It's a couple of items, and yes, it is quite large and very profitable. In fact, besides this, I will also give you half of the money I'll get off this item.
I will ask her if our ship is equipped for this type of mission.
Does your ship go up in the air?
Is my dick hard? But I say it in like a
And she
non-
kind of turns away from you, and she walks over past you, and she hits you in the gut very hard. Roll your fight.
Here we go.
That is a one.
Oh!
That is a 1. Let me see what her fight
just-
is real quick. Oh, her fight's not much better. I'm just... It is better than a 1, though. So she jabs you into the stomach, and you immediately go like, whoa! And
I
she...
go down to the ground. And I simply say, it's not hard anymore.
And then she walks over to you two, and she's just like, so you know all the science behind the ship, I'm guessing. You two are the brains of the operation.
I do know the ship really well. It's very comfortable.
How much can you fit in, like, gallons or crates?
Oh, I know this one. I can fit at least, and she names an extremely large amount, like unrealistically large. It can fit at least unrealistically large amount of
100,000
ocean water
gallons.
inside.
Oh, that's way more. Should be way more than that, yeah.
Okay, well, all right, do we have an understanding?
And I will come up from the
Just
ground.
gonna turn towards.
I will come up in
Turn
pain
symbol.
still. And I'll say, give me the coin.
Yeah. I think, if our ship is equipped to handle any danger, and you sound averse and are well put together in tactics, and what'd she say? She was like a combat.
Well, you just see that she has
She's
tons
a
of
combat-
medals, and she has, like, a pirate's jacket in the Bezos colors.
She seems pretty tough, right?
And she just punched the shit out of,
It was a lucky shot.
Sort of boosted my confidence of us running into more people like her, any more Amazonians, or So yeah, he's definitely like, all right, let's do this. Let's get some credits.
All right. Now act cool. And she walks over to the camera and she turns it back on. And she goes, all right, so we're doing a research mission on Venus. And I will accompany you because I do not trust you guys getting that close to the United Planet Sanctuary. And yeah, we'll do a research mission. We'll just collect some rock samples, bring it back here, and see if we can see if any military stuff is being built. Sounds good?
Thank you for coming along with us to protect us on this important mission.
This sounds like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
And
I'm still holding my stomach, and I just go and whisper to myself, "Some bitch."
so at this point,
I'll pat him on the back and be like, "Oh, that greenhouse. We're gonna have to get that greenhouse in order. You ate something funky in there."
so as that happens, 3 things come from the ceiling, and they're like look like laser guns, and they all stop in front of you. Even one gets low enough while you're on the ground, And roll me a grit. Actually, roll me a brains first, 8, and then we'll see where you land.
Is this for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
2.
Okay. I will definitely need a
8.
Okay.
Brains.
What did you get for brains? 12? Okay. So you two know that these are not lethal guns, that they are just taking your measurements and your vitals. And I'll need a grits check 8.
Okay.
So I've got like 2 shrimp that come up and a couple of fish, and they all line up in a happy face.
That's a 5.
Would you like to use some tokens?
No.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So you are hunched over on the ground in pain, and you look up, and all of a sudden a gun-like machine is facing you in the face, and you freak the fuck out, and you start like running to the back of the wall and like holding it like, ah, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. And then all of a sudden the barrel becomes light and a green laser comes out.
And I look at the
scanning
gun
you.
and I just look and I look at these two and I just go, Yup, y'all couldn't warn me, huh?
And I'll advise you that it's best to stay still when they're taking the measurements for the escape pod and the EVA suit that they're about to fit you with. Otherwise, our measurements may be off, and they won't fit at all. So,
Don't want to spill out. That happened the first time I put this on. It took a while to fix it.
And
And I'll
then
look at Rose and go, the fuck, dude?
she's laughing her ass off at you freaking out, and she's just like, obviously you've never been civilized before.
I said, I'm a gentleman, but never a gentleman.
And so when that happens, all of a sudden, 3 uniforms that fit your sizes drop from the ceiling and land in front of you. And then 2 second later, some boots that land, and they are Amazonian employees uniforms.
I'm just gonna look at that. Like, I'm just gonna reach out, grab it, hold it up, look at the suit that they just gave us, look down at my hermetically sealed suit,
Well, this
back up at this one.
this one you see is big enough to go over your.
perfect.
So with my like hands that are gloves, they're somewhat thick gloves because, you know, they're used for spacewalks and stuff. I'm gonna start trying to fit the boot I already have on into the boot they just gave us.
It starts ripping at the seams.
You know, hun, I really like the colors. It's really good. I'm not sure if this is gonna work.
Do you two put the other one on?
I'm trying.
You don't put it on?
I'll go and change into it. Yeah, like I think it's awesome. Like I feel like this is like, oh, now we have a project. We're gonna get paid in credits. Like I have a uniform. This makes me official. Like Nimblejets is loving this.
And what about you? Well, Al, you technically already have it on. Do you just more?
Notice I'm like, oh, you changed.
I will walk up to her and just like whisper in her ear and be like, I can't get a cool pirate jacket?
She goes, you have to actually fight in the Great War to get a pirate jacket.
I will put these clothes on right now.
So essentially,
I go up in the boots and I eventually get like the rest of it on, but this looks an awful lot like Bruce Banner post Hulk when he comes back from Hulk. It's ripped at the seams. It's kind of pseudo tattered. You can see what it used to be, but the colors of my EVA suit are coming through it where the seams have been stretched out.
Oh,
I think it
everyone
looks nice.
gets a token because y'all been playing your characters perfectly. By the way,
Did she
Awesome.
know what my character is, or is she
no,
oblivious?
she does not. She thinks you are a human.
Okay, there goes my idea then, never mind.
You can change in front of her if you want, but she thinks you're a human.
So what I was gonna do, I'm gonna change in front of everyone, but I'm gonna turn around so it's just my ass facing, but I look like a Ken doll. So If you were looking at me face on, because of the way I transformed, you would just see nothingness. But because I turned away from them, you can just see a perfectly sculpted plastic ass.
And also too, she looks at the records on the little tablet and she goes, Nibble gets, and she hits a button and it pulls it up on screen and it shows like your like, it's kind of like stats and register, kind of like your social security number and all of that. And she goes, okay, I've just transferred 100 Bezos bucks to your account.
Bezos bucks.
Those are, of course, you can be used anywhere in the Empire of Bezos and on Amazon. And then she turns to the other two and she goes, I don't see anywhere in the system you two. So I've assigned you all different, your numbers, your citizen numbers, and I've already put 100 Bezos bucks into your accounts.
Yay! How much is that in cake?
She does like you say that and the computer instantly like Google searches and it's like 20 cakes.
Hey, 20 cakes!
Nice.
She goes, okay, now can you please be cool for like 5 minutes as we walk out of this room? And
I imagine we both look at Al. We're like, can we all be cool for?
Al stops. He looks at her and goes, yeah, I can be cool.
Perfect.
You instantly hear the wah! So as you were walking, you guys see that like the guard that's like smoking on the table, like hitting a button, instantly like puts the cigarette out and like throws it in his coffee mug and stands at attention. Scientists that are typing are immediately like, you know, there's chatter. Like, even the robots are moving as she walks by in this, like, pirate get-up almost. And then she turns...
Al
What's
sees
this
this.
authority
As
from
Al
everyone?
sees this, he starts walking with more of a swagger. But yeah, bitch, that's right. Get to work.
As y'all slow motion walk through these hallways.
And then Al sees one robot that's moving slowly and just goes... Continues to soldier on off.
And as you turn, you look out onto, and you see that your ship is fueled up, and Lucas is typing on it and yelling, and the guards are like leaning on their guns, kind of like this, and they see her, and they immediately like, fuck, and like do the like army cool flip thing.
What you gotta remember is, you're swaggering. Eva doesn't actually have bones and joints. So as she's walking, she looks kind of like you do when you walk underwater. She actually is slow-mo walking her way forward as the regular form of locomotion. So that which you are trying to do does naturally.
So yeah,
it's great because Eva's in front of us all, so we'll have to slow.
Yeah, that's kind of what you see. And you see Lucas like looks at her and it's just like, and he like types back on his computer. Like he's the only one not affected as the crew is like speedily trying to fix up your ship a little bit.
What about George?
Roll me a grits check, Nibble. Grits of a 6.
I got a 3.
Okay, you are panicking. Oh, would you like to use tokens to pass this?
I don't think I have the 1, so I don't have enough.
Okay, well, you'll get another one because you are now upset that these guys have been touching your ship more than you thought, and you are visibly distraught because you thought they were just going to put gas in it, but they have also, like, tampered with some stuff, so you are very upset by this.
Yeah, he's like, once he finds out that they were doing all that and that they've been on the ship and like violated it, you know, like we're the only ones that are allowed on this ship. Yeah, he's going around and he's checking everything. He's like plugged into the core of the ship and he's trying to pull in like everything that they've done or may have like, you know, met or adjusted or whatever. And he's going through and he's like, why would they? No, turn it back. And he's like, oh, why would they add that on there?
So he's just flustered. He's checking the engine and making sure nothing is. It's like when the mechanic works on your car. Your dad's like, "Hey, just always open the hood and look under there and make sure everything's connected, and then you're good." So he's
Yeah,
doing that sort of
like
double
you're
check.
yelling, you're like, "Don't spark there! No, get out!" And Lucas turns to the other two because he ran off past all of y'all, and he goes, "Are you seriously joining these people, Rose?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have to go and see what the planets are." And she like checks the pad again. She's like, "Got to see where, yeah,
Like, Venus, ma'am, our mission for Venus with the he'll go on and on about our science vessel and science experiments and how we need her to sort of help make sure that we're secure.
Well, right now you're
as a
freaking
crew.
out over the ship."
Okay.
And Lucas is just like, you could tell that Lucas is like does not trust her when she says that. And he's like, "Well, fine then. I guess you've earned the right to go into space and do whatever you do. But who will sign the transfer forms when people want to go from janitorial staff to janitorial staff on the starship?" And you can see she's visibly angry by this.
If you really need someone to, I can.
and when you say that, you kind of break Lucas's brain. He kind of looks at you and is like, "What?" And so essentially she she turns to the guys. She's like, "All right, get away from the ship. Obviously this Lorcathian knows what he's doing." And when you say that, Lucas is kind of perks up and he just goes, "You're not a human?"
And I'll look over and kind of like, he's talking about me, right?
Yeah.
I'll sort of tilt my head like, and then I'll kind of wave my hand and it'll do like a sort of like a digital like flutter, and I'll be like, "I thought you knew."
So
Not one
He'll
either.
sort of make himself known.
so he say that too, and he's like, I can see, and he is like really embarrassed right now that he could not tell. Which is again hilarious that he could tell the pug, but he can't tell his own fucking species.
I imagine like he was so drawn to like him that he just blew right past me,
Overlooked
thinking
it, yeah.
like, "Oh, this guy is obviously unique." Yeah.
And your confidence is also built that you tricked someone of your own kind.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, this suit that I built is like perfection. Like this is amazing. I've only been working on this thing for a few years, but it's like real deal.
So,
He's so
are y'all
excited.
loading up in the ship, or is there anything you want to ask Lucas or anything?
I would ask him how long he's been working this like sector. Just out of like sort of talk shop and like kind of see what he's been doing to know what we may be getting ourselves into based on his answer.
He kind of like looks and he goes, "Well, I guess since we're in the same breed, Bezos has requested many of our breeds to come work on Uranus because of its resource and development. And since I've been here since the start of the Great War, and I have not left."
What type of work or like sort of work were you able to contribute our species slender fingers to?
And he kind of like gives you a deadpan like this, and he holds up the tablet, and then he like
It's just,
pulls
like,
it back.
list of stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a list.
Okay.
and like your ship specs.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to get an idea of like what we're getting into. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So you basically can tell that like he's just been working as essentially a checkoff man.
I see. Yeah, I guess I'll ask. when the last time he's like picked up a wrench or able to like repair something on his own. Kind of just like it's so great to like we have those moments with something we're restoring, right? I'm just trying to like get him to kind of come back to ways, so to speak.
He kind of like stares at you and he's just like, a wrench? I guess I fixed this piece of crap. And he like taps on his like leg and you hear doot 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 doot. But other than that, I'm a souped up computer that only does checks and minuses.
And you do the checks and minuses really well. It looks really nice.
Let me roll brains and see
And I'll say,
if
well,
he can
Lucas-
tell you're sarcastic.
No, this is 100%
Oh, that's what I was
straight.
saying. Yeah, I
That
meant
is-
the other way. Let's see if he thinks you're being sarcastic. or
Okay,
not.
okay.
He looks at first upset, like he thinks that you're being a smartass, and then he kind of goes, "Oh yeah, you're."
Oh yeah, you're that one.
Oh, yeah. But I will chime in and say, Lucas, we could always use someone with your set of skills and capabilities, on a ship or on a mission. So maybe we'll have that opportunity sometime in the future.
Rose cuts in and goes, "Yes, but Lucas doesn't want to go on this mission. Come on, let's."
So my question is when they're talking to Lucas, is it like a semicircle kind of conversation, or is he like at the front of a line?
Well, I picture that these guys are like taking the tubes off, and then so he's closest to the ship, Nibblewitz, and now
Okay, so
Rose... What's up?
while they're having a conversation with him, and Rose is about to say what she just said, I walk behind him to go into the ship, and I just whisper, "Chekhov, bitch."
He gets very angry until Rose kind of grabs him and starts pulling him off, and he's just like,
And I just look back as I'm about to enter the ship, pull off my glasses, and just go.
he says the extremely racist term towards your people, and he says, you filthy mutt."
I would look at him from the top of the ship and go,
Now, let's see if Rose understands.
I don't know what that means.
Let's see if Rose understands what that means. She has a D10. She doesn't know what you are yet. She has no idea why he called you a mutt.
I will chime in though and be like, yeah, maybe it was a bad idea. Maybe we'll wait on that invitation, Lucas. Sort of like rescinding the offer and seeing that how he can't even sort of associate with someone he just encountered. Yeah.
No, people really hate Wolf's race.
Yeah, my race is like the most hated race in the world.
Are you
Well, I
joining
think
the
it's
ship
perfect
too?
that you're around us too.
True. Say
Eva,
again?
are you joining the ship also? Are you becoming the transition signer offer? Eva?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking to them. I'm just kind of sticking with the group because honestly, I don't actually know where to go in this. Like, we're still talking to this guy. Everybody's still over here at the bottom of the ramp. This is where the cool kids are.
Okay, so like when she takes him and walks off, you kind of like trolley or you like skip along behind them.
Pretty much. Like, man, they was like they're gonna go like do something cool together. Like, I thought we were leaving, but apparently it's really important to go this way right now.
So when you get on the ship, like Rose instantly walks to like the captain's seat, and she sits down. She kicks her feet up, and she's just like,
That's my seat. That's my comfy seat. I like that seat. I've been sitting in that seat.
"Well, Mr. Pond, if you can get me a cooler seat, you can have this seat."
Is Mr. mean again?
Are you a male body of water or a female? She's like staring at you and like looking in your thing. She's like, "Are you
I'll chime in and say, Bentosa don't typically, pick some one specific gender, and
Like, up come the hands. And, you know, this is basically like a globe on the top of the suit. It's one of those. It's not like an astronaut suit in modern day times. It's not just the front glass. The entire thing is just a big globe of glass. It allows full movement. presumably there's a heads-up display or something like that, but nothing right there. And there's just a couple of different sea creatures up there. Like I'm assuming over here at the moment is like a starfish or something. So there's like starfish over here. There's probably a clownfish on this side, and so Eva will pause and go, well, so that one, and she just kind of reaches and points. It's really hard for her to actually get an exact point. That one, I think, is a male. This one doesn't really care, and there's one down there who's kind of in a transition between the two because that's what they do. Does that help?
Okay, you can have your fish. You can have your seat back, Mr. Pond. She kind of like gets up. She walks over to you, Gits, and she goes, "Here's the coordinates for Pepsi. Map out a route."
Yeah. I'll start mapping it out. I'll check them and make sure they're valid, and they're not sending us through something.
Roll a brains check, 12.
Okay.
Because I don't think you've been to Pepsi before.
But I rolled an 18, so I just sort of pull it up and I'm sort of mapping out the route.
Oh, okay. So you look at this and you're like, oh yeah, we could take this highway. We could get off at I-12. Yeah, this is, and you start changing her route to be more productive. Yeah. And she's like,
right,
okay, whatever.
Okay.
And then she's like, all right, let me know if anybody on the comms calls us. And she kind of like walks back and like takes it, and like it's kind of like laying up against the wall, the floor, sleeping. I don't know why, but I see Rose as Undyne from Undertale. Yeah. So you get the coordinates, Wolf. Al, I mean, you start taking off. Give me a flight. 4.
That is a 17.
Okay, so now that you know that there is nothing above you basically like pull out perfectly, majestically. You're even like doing loops in the sky and stuff, and I'm just kind of show it off. Because this thing has been upgraded. Like now you have fuel, you can let it rip, and you are excited about that.
So I go into the sky and I come out perfectly at the airpod, and I look at Rose and say, "Pull out game strong." I start doing some loop-de-loops, and we go into space.
And essentially, you head on your way to Pepsi, and that is where we will begin tomorrow on Teens in Space. How do y'all like the system so far?
I like it. I think it's worked.
It's fun so far.
It's a lot of fun to like build these sort of things together, like with our characters. It sort of gives you that connection, and we didn't really plan all this out before. We kind of had some ideas.
No, I didn't plan any of this out, but I was like, I need to figure out how to get to Rose.
No, I just even like the character creation itself. Like I didn't have to. I had an idea of what the things that were going to make up my character, but today we sorted out how our characters came to know each other, and we're already on a mission. So that's pretty cool.
This was pretty interesting. Felt a lot like a film. That's what I kind of like about it. Is as you can tell, like failing in this game is not bad. Like it's not great.
That's how you do better later.
Yeah, but like it seems like I like it how like instead of like you shitting your pants or something, like you just freaking out just makes your interaction with Rose different. But yeah, you'll have 100 credits, and you have a metal block that's used for the atmospheric.
Right.
Oh, you two don't know what this metal block does.
I'm gonna study it. So, yeah, I would totally be like, "Ooh, that's interesting." And like, if I noticed Al knew something about it, I'd be like, "Ooh, I want to learn about this."
Because Al did not tell you at all about this metal.
Al put that some bitch in his pocket and then just acted like it never existed.
Al was like, "We're going to Pepsi."
Well, we saw it, right? We just don't know what it is.
Yeah, you saw it. I was like, "Oh, look, mine."
Definitely. Yeah, that was really fun. I'm really excited. I cannot wait for tomorrow. Sunray should be. We talked. I basically she had a really bad incident with her family. So I'm just going to give her a character sheet, tell her play as a cocky, swashbuckling lady, and We'll see where it goes.
Sounds good.
But nobody
My-
questioned what y'all were picking up. You just asked if your ship could handle what you're picking up.
Hey, that's
A
all I
little
need to
bit. They
know.
didn't. They said a few things, and I was like, "Well, how large? Are they going to get us in trouble?" I didn't ask what the actual items were, but I
I
wanted
mean,
to know if it
obviously
was
they asked
creature,
us,
living.
you know, what our ship can handle. So obviously, if they heard what our ship can handle, they're giving us something we can handle.
Yeah, we don't need to know the details. We just need to know if we can handle it.
I mean, it is apparently smaller than 100,000 gallons of ocean water. So
It
we
is, in
apparently can
fact,
handle it.
smaller than 100 gallons. But anyway, I will see you guys later. I am the Gnome. See you guys tomorrow for more Teens in Space. Peace out.